Being a teenager is tough. And what do Wisconsin's teens do when they want to block out the noise and clear their heads?
We play!
Yeah! Research shows that teenagers who participate in high school sports have lower stress levels, more confidence, and greater self-esteem. And then there's the biggest benefit of all.
High school sports are fun.
Not just fun.
They're a lot of fun.
Encourage your teenagers to participate in a sport or activity when they go to high school. They'll stress less and smile more. And they'll be laying the foundation for a happier, healthier future.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
I'm Doug Russell. The Brewers, after taking Monday off, are back at it tonight, hosting the Padres for 3. Brandon Sproat pitches against Matt Waldron. Game time is set for 6:40. After their sweep over the Yankees this past weekend, the Brewers find themselves tied for second place, 3.5 games behind the Cubs in the Central. The NBA playoffs continued last night. Conference semifinals action. It was the Cavaliers over the Pistons, 112-103. Cleveland knotting up the series at 2 games apiece. And the season comes to an end for the Lakers.
Rebound, James.
Oh, nobody.
Stolen by Hartenstein. Inside, Holmgren got the feed for Shea. The spinner is in.
The Thunder completing the 4-game series sweep, 115-110, the final from Los Angeles last night. Coming up tonight, it's the Timberwolves and the Spurs. Pivotal Game 5 at the Frostbank Center. That series is tied up at 2 games apiece. The Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake up!
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras.
Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 yes. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
Exactly what we gotta do. All right, that's all we're going y'all do. Let's go out and kick the tail. All right? 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Get our guys after you and make it play. Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, B hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid.
Oh, God, this man's been out all night.
And Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sid says, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Let's huddle up on a Tuesday, shall we? Welcome into the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. Drew Wilson, Billy Schmid, Armen Sarian. Band back together. Day 2 after my little vacation. Still recovering, I admit.
Well, and Drew, I always feel like the second day after a vacation is generally the load management day, right? Like you can get back, you got to ease yourself into it. That's where I've always wondered, certain vacations, you got to take a vacation from the vacation. There's some you have too much fun on. You just need 2 or 3 days to get yourself back into it. But hey, we're here to help row as much of that boat. So maybe, you can just coast through
Let's
today.
go. That'd be great.
Easing it up.
That would be great because, you had Mother's Day, had to step up your game for the moms and the wives. Always had to. And then yesterday was just a normal Monday, and we're getting into the routine now. We're, the NFL, does the NFL ever really go away?
It definitely doesn't when they manufacture a week in May where not even an OTA practice would get people excited, but instead we just get dribbles out like the faucet that you can't stop getting to leak of a couple of games. Oh, now we get to know when do the Cowboys play? When is the first must-win game for the Cowboys? So, Drew, no, the NFL definitely never goes away in the conversation because they manufactured a beautiful way just to keep putting fuel into that furnace.
Yeah, we were getting the drips and the drabs of the schedule. We also got a scare yesterday, or depending how you look at it, not a hope of a fake schedule leak or a schedule leak from the Patriots. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it got Hunter. Poor Hunter. It got Hunter back here in the office, and he thought it was real, and it had the Packers on there, so he was on high alert. And I thought it might be fake. It reminded me of the NCAA tournament show where the whole bracket got leaked during the show, and they had to quicken up the pace, which was quite interesting because I remember that, and it's like, oh, is this real or not? Quickly realized this wasn't a real schedule leak. It was just some internet, rage bait. But we got that yesterday, so I think we're all kind of ready for this to come out and be done with it. But yeah, some leaks out here. We got the Cowboys opening at the Giants, and then the Bills are going to open their new stadium week 2 against the Lions. So little stuff dripping and driving out here.
Our pal Aaron Nagler had the best tweet last night. 8th time in 15 years, the Giants and Cowboys have played week 1, and the 5th time the NFL has forced it upon a beleaguered nation. Can't wait for the boring bowl.
Oh, it's got to fire up. And we're going to get into, listen, at least it can't be worse than the UFL, which continues to get put on television. So we're going to be thirsting for anything. And just remember, even if the game is cheeks, it's better than no football.
That's true.
It's better than no football. You got to get yourself all the way there.
Week 2, the first Thursday night football of the game. Drum roll, please.
Come on now.
Lions at Bills.
That is going to be a sweet one. As Armen said, that's to open up their new stadium. That's to open up Thursday night football. Fascinating where they go to begin the entire season. But the little pieces of it have been good. I think the Thanksgiving game of Eagles and Cowboys, that's just going to draw a ridiculous number because it always does. And then right there in the middle of the slate with 2 huge primetime brands and 2 decent teams, it should be fun. I also think there's a possibility that 49ers Rams game is one of the best games on the NFL docket, and it gets kicked off at 10:30 local time on a Friday morning in Australia that we'll get on Thursday night. So it is a strange one. I'm interested though to find out exactly where they start the Packers and how heavy they load up the early games with how many guys that they're still going to have to get back, Drew.
How big an advantage is it that the Packers get the Bills at home? Bills are a good squad, Super Bowl aspirations.
I like it.
Don't have to play in that new stadium, which although that might be cool. Some players might say, I'd want to see that new stadium.
Yeah, it could be a slight advantage. Selfishly, as we always say, media starts with me. I'm excited to hopefully be able to see Josh Allen, but you and I were both also hopefully excited to see Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow last year.
Yeah, hopefully.
And instead, that turned into Tyler Huntley and Joe Flacco. Now, the Flacco experiment was a lot more entertaining than we thought, and the Huntley experiment, that was a dud. But you got to see, you get some good home dates on the schedule. And for Buffalo, they're probably, outside of the division, the biggest test that's going to come to Lambeau Field. That Houston team, you don't know what that looks like, but that would be another one where if you start slating it up, you can't just start with the Jets for 3 straight weeks, but I would like to face the Houston Texans in that pass rush. What I know for sure that I got Zach Tom back.
The Packers home games, I look at it and the non-divisional home games, because the division crapshoot, you can win or lose any one of those, right?
Could be 3-3, could be 6-0.
But the home slate of the non-divisional opponents, Atlanta, Buffalo, Carolina, ABC, Miami, Houston, and Dallas. They're going to puke away at least one of those. History tells us.
Oh, sure.
100%.
I remember last year.
And it's for some reason, I just look at that Carolina as being the game that they could puke away.
Yeah, because you watched it last year, and I think actually Carolina ended up getting better. And Houston was a really good game a couple of years ago. But it was a coin flip, and talk about a crapshoot. I think that was the first one McManus kicked in, and ultimately kicked them to victory. So that was a coin flip game. And you've also seen them spit it up a couple of years ago. One of the tougher ones in Love's first year was that loss to Atlanta. It's luckily, and I know some people would take this disappointingly, it feels like a third place schedule, right? It feels it feels like a third place schedule, even though it's a second place one. But you got it easier when you get a schedule that includes the Falcons, Saints, Jets, and Dolphins on it. That's a cushiony launch pad into where you're sitting.
So the away games, if you're planning your travel, and this is again international aside, you don't think they're playing internationally, or do we have a rumbling of a Germany game or something?
The way that it sounds is that it would be New Orleans and it would be in France. The original, or the individual that first broke the story of the Saints playing in France accurately did say that it was the Browns. So the Browns are also a possibility for the Saints. I would assume that they would put a Browns Saints game over there. That feels like when you get welcomed into the NFL, you got to put up with a Carolina, New York, right? You got to take your medicine, eat your first. Saints and Browns, and then we'll give you 49ers and Packers or somebody.
So the Packers road games on the docket. And again, we'll find out all together as this progresses and the drips and drabs come, but they play on the road this year at the Rams.
Good one. Great game.
At the Bucks, that was always traditionally the one where cheeseheads would migrate. And if that's later in the season,
I was just going to say, that's the one, Drew, you just pray is post-Thanksgiving.
Let that be post-Thanksgiving, and the Cheesers will take over and avail themselves of the establishments on Dale Mabry Road, perhaps.
I was going to say, pump some money into the local economy.
Yeah, help some women help through the,
I was going to say,
hygienist school.
Thank you. Those tech schools need some funding.
Yes, so they have those are the two
going back to
stalwarts. And then they're at the Jets on that crappy turf that scares everybody, right? Don't they still have the turf there?
And to your point, Drew, those are the games you just can't mess up. You just can't drop. You just can't stumble and step on a rake.
So
that's the Packers' problem.
And then New Orleans, another great destination. And then to New England to face the Fighting Vrabels.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be an interesting game night one, right? Like, I think New England would be an interesting week one.
That would be interesting, yeah.
As much as I would love and just pray that the NFL does what I think they should do and throw the Super Bowl rematch and throw Mike Vrabel on the opening night. I don't know, Drew, that they're super excited about them running promos now for the next 100 days with Mike Vrabel's face on it for the first game of the NFL season. So maybe they drop that in the middle there. But that would be an appealing game to head to Foxborough. But you hit it on the head. I think all five, I mean, if you want to go to Patriots Village, which seems like a Lambeau in the Northeast, you get 4 really, really good jaunts. You get to go to New York. Who doesn't like to go to the big city?
Exactly.
And also see them beat the hell out of the Jets, hopefully, who maybe get an interception this year. New Orleans, one of the best party towns of all time.
Definitely.
Love it.
And I think Tampa and LA speak for themselves. So this is a pretty solid road schedule. And albeit, one game outside that really scares you, even though Tampa Bay, if you want to say the one that you spit up, Tampa Bay or New Orleans does feel like the game that could be able to step on a rake there into the road portion.
Especially the problems we've had in Tampa over the years. I mean, that's just one place that's been our house of horrors, it seems like, at least in recent memory. So, you always kind of look at that with a side eye. At least I do when I say, all right, well, Tampa, are we going to be battling uphill to get a win in this one? So you want to hopefully put some money in the bank before that and then look at that game, whenever it does fall on the schedule, saying, all right, well, we've got a little equity here. Let's try and steal one when we get to Tampa.
So
at least that's the approach I take.
We know that, the Cowboys always play Thanksgiving, and it popped that they're playing the Eagles on Thanksgiving, which is traditional rivalry. I don't hate it. You get the Lions for the first game and then the Cowboys, Eagles, and then whomever they slap into the triple header slot.
And I'm interested, as we generally do. We wait with bated breath to see if the Packers are going to line up against the Lions there on that Thanksgiving, which again would be another appealing matchup. But the caveat here and the little bit of the fly in the ointment has been the fact that I think the Bears, for the first time in a long time, for the schedule makers and the national perspective, almost have more of an allure to throw into the big spot than the Packers right now. Like the amount of excitement, optimism, conversation on the national shows about Caleb and the Bears and the possibility of them taking another huge leap like they did last year. I would be surprised if it's not Bears Lions on Thanksgiving. And the other one is right now they're kind of circling Chicago to start out the season and potentially go be that sacrificial lamb out in Seattle. And I, for one, love that possibility.
I definitely agree. I feel like they're like, all right, Caleb, this is young, exciting quarterback, athletic. We can market him. They were close in the playoffs last year. This is a sexy pick. This is a sexy option. Bears are a big market. It does seem like that. It just feels that way, which is fine with me.
I do like that. I like that idea. And I like the idea of maybe Detroit losing the first game in the new stadium for the Bills, and then both of them holding an L in the first 2 weeks.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking
opening
about.
Up the window there because, again, we've it's become trite over the years, but it's been long enough now that I think we can kind of focus on goal one for the Packers: win the damn division.
Yeah, since 2021, the first time. They haven't won it since then, and that's 1,000% it. Even though you fall on an onside kick last year and you end up winning the division, that's how small it is. And the other wild card that we didn't mention at all, a team that you ended up splitting with last year, and could be one of the biggest surprises or flops in the NFC, and I think that's the Vikings. I mean, like they were what would call it 19 months ago, battling to have the number 1 overall seed in all of the NFC playoffs in their own building. And then 2 weeks later, they kick Sam Darnold to the curb, and then the guy goes and wins a Super Bowl. So like, I think I don't know that they're as good as they were 2 years ago, but when they add Juwan Jennings, Drew, to already a really, really good receiving core, Kyler Murray is a question mark, but he's a 28-year-old that's thrown 100+ touchdowns and 20,000 yards. Like there's a lot of slouchier NFL quarterbacks and worse options, a couple of them that are in Minnesota already, that could be starting a quarterback for you, and they could be one of the biggest surprise teams in the NFL throughout all of this and really throw a wrench in everyone's plan.
Could be. Is it too silly to think? I mean, in other cities and other markets, and something with a longer tenure might make sense, but is it too silly to assume that maybe the Packers will open at home again against the Dolphins, and Jeff Hafley and Malik Willis coming back, and that's the story that, here you go, serve up some red meat for you. Week 1.
Drew, I like the fact that you would be setting up the Packers for like the CBS D broadcast game, right? Like, get in there, get an easy road, figure yourself out. We could sell a little bit of the storyline with the Hafley and the South Beach Packers.
Malik Willis.
I do.
John Eric Sullivan.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
With that shot of Malik coming out of the tunnel, looking to see if there's reaction.
Is that,
like you said, it's a D storyline.
He played a couple games here, and like Hafley was here for a couple of years, and John Eric Sullivan was the guy behind the guy.
100%.
That does feed into, like, that's a natural. I don't know if would that even be on their radar? Like, to have the Dolphins come here. All right, for some reason there's some allure to me. The Dolphins have come here in recent visits on cold nights. I think remember
for sure Thanksgiving night was really cold.
Thanksgiving night was really cold, and if they come up in September when it's glorious at Lambeau, the Packers lose a little bit of edge. But that might be the game. I don't even know if the NFL factors in that sentimentality and all that stuff when they're trying to put this jigsaw puzzle, this Jenga board together.
Well, you know what? They've taken so long, Drew. I gotta think they do. Right, like, and especially when it seems...
Well, you're right about the Vrabel thing, because if they had Vrabel ticketed for a marquee slot in week 1, they're probably pumping the brakes.
They said, can we have him play the Browns 3 straight weeks?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Browns, Saints, and Jags. Right, like, try to get the lowest profile that you possibly could. I see a bunch of possibilities for the week 1 opponent. Like, the Lions a year ago felt natural. I always would like the Bears. However, this year I will say I'll run from the grind a little bit and would prefer that game to be a little bit later into the season when you know that you're fully healthy. Dolphins make a ton of sense. Carolina, I guess, would be something. You can obviously X out Dallas because they're going to play on that Sunday night with the Giants. What about Buffalo? Right? Like, what about
that's a 1 out of the shoot. Yeah.
What about a big game? Josh Allen, Lambeau Field. You're only going to get it a couple of times in his career. And that's the other one here. Like, when you start forecasting and selfishly, as I defend the gold package quite significantly here on 9:20 a.m. Milwaukee and 10:70 a.m. Madison, the Buffalo Bills fans are going to find their way into that stadium, right? Like, even though they're going to want to save a number of their dollars to be in the inaugural season of their new Highmark Stadium, you only make these pilgrimages, generally once every 8 years, unless you line up in the same 1 through 16 slot of the AFC and NFC. So, like, the possibility to go to Lambeau and see Buffalo, they always take the chance. So I could see a ton of Bills fans there. So I would prefer that to be a green package. So, Armen, I'd be able to fix my argument and potentially have a little bit of help.
That's good thinking. I like the levels you went with this, Billy, and I like the fact that you're trying to already tailor it to your argument. I really appreciate that.
I'm trying to make sure that flag flies well this year.
I appreciate that. You're trying to put that flag in the ground and make sure you can already craft that thing. And you know what? You have a good point about that. I do think, Bills fans love to travel. They love to make their mark and get their pictures and videos of their table breaking in different venues, and they don't get that chance at Lambeau very much. So that's another good point.
That's what we call the Shanna Quinn Bowl.
Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah.
mean,
what do you think the
dude will be there?
What will the youngster be in?
Ooh.
Right. Will she put the youngster in like the
Divided.
Laurel Hawk, split it right down the middle, sew it together kind of deal?
Think, Mom might have to get out the sewing machine.
Because they don't make onesies like that. This is a tough proposition for dude. If I were him, I'd play the home team uniform card.
I think that's probably solid.
Smart move.
When we go to Buffalo, he can, wear Buffalo Bill stuff.
I like it. It's a home and home kind of deal.
Lambo, he's wearing green and gold. You can wear what you're going to wear, and my boy's going to be in green and gold. Or, just censor it in all pictures.
Shout out to our friend Shanna Quinn. She got our little guys, because my little guy loves the Let's Go Buffalo song.
Uh-huh.
I got a picture of him with the bottle. It's a little onesie. Matching shirts for the guys with the bottle going through the table of a buffalo. You got to teach them young.
Pretty cool.
Phenomenal run. Also,
nice of her to think of you, but I do think there's a little bit of, she's trying to infiltrate young, and try and create some more Buffalo Bills fans. There's always a reason behind it.
Yeah, but we got a little soft spot for the Buffalo Bills. As long as they stop spitting up playoff games and costing us bundles of cash at the Bobby Labby Sportsbook.
It's a big problem. But other than that, we like that.
And not throwing the ball away on 2-point conversions when all you need is one Buffalo Bills money line ticket to be able to finish off a 9-leg parlay on a Sunday in week 14.
What are we doing?
That's what, then we can really start loving the Buffalo Bills and allow them to be our second favorite team. Also, shout out Shanna Quinn, started a new podcast.
I heard that. Laura loves it. Laura's all over
Containing the Chaos, a parent cast with her and our friend Sam Linder from Thailand.
I gotta
Slam and Sam.
Yeah. That's going to be a fun one.
Gotta give it a spin. Laura's already given it an A+. Yeah.
From ripping tequila shots to pouring bottles and warming them up. Isn't that a good
Oh
pairing?
my goodness. That is,
it's so true.
I was going to say Slam and Sam was a guest on our shows, and every time she came on, management was nervous.
The stories have changed, haven't
she
they,
would
Drew?
tell some stories, and she would just get down and dirty with the boys. She fit right in here, and they're like, hey, this might not be our best,
The stories have changed.
Oh, yeah.
But the content's still great. It's just
That's true.
And as we grow up, and the stories do, and it's great. That's what, being a millennial, or I'm an elder millennial, but that's what it's being about,
The focus is shifted.
I'm going to make it about you, Armen.
Yeah, come on, Armen.
It's not about me. I'm the audience, aren't I?
Let's make it about the audience.
I'm the audience.
877-794-1973 is your entree into our talk and text line, which is available for sponsorship if you own a business and you'd like us to mention you every day, several times a day, every segment.
Thank you.
That would be amazing. But yes, hit us up. It's going to be a buy or sell Tuesday. We hope to connect with Bill Schroeder. We'll find out if Rock's waking up. It's a day off. He's got the Padres in town.
I was going to say, a night off last night. That feels like a Wisconsin dive bars kind of night.
Yeah, I don't know if he's in the booth this week for this series or not. It was great to have him and BA and the Yankees for the booth. In the booth against the Yankees.
It makes it feel like a big game. I'll tell you that. It might be a little bit nerdy, but
I know
it
we
sure
get
does.
Lev tonight, but then BA will be back because BA is going to be
national
Braves tonight. So, we hope to connect with Bill Schroeder, but we'll connect with you as well. Buy or sell Tuesday, off and running. Got the shooting shirts off. Let's get after it. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Rolling along. It is the Tuesday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920, Milwaukee, 1070, Madison. Billy, is there a remote in our future? We just got the warning about a button now. They warn us that if we don't hit a button, the TV is going to go off. But when there's nobody here,
who hits it?
The TV stays on.
Miraculously stays on.
Why is it that only when we're here?
And then it breaks.
Yeah.
Well, mine does go off. I mean, I have to turn mine on in the morning and here behind the glass. So maybe you guys have a magic TV back there, or magically someone figured out the setting to fix that. Now, to figure out the setting, first you have to find the right remote to match with the right TV, which is another challenge we have in this building. But that's okay. It's all part of the process.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll dominate it still. I believe in us.
I'm old enough to remember doing shows when their TVs weren't on in the studio.
Yeah.
But I also worked for many years alongside my pal Dan Needles, sports director emeritus at WISN 12 in Milwaukee, who has retired a couple of years ago. He couldn't be in a room with a TV that wasn't on.
That just was him.
He's like, turn that TV on. I'm like, well, why? Like, something might happen.
We got to make sure that we know.
Like what? The Price is Right might break out, or what? Like what?
We gotta see if somebody hits it right on the head.
Breaking news. He just had to have. That was his industry.
Might be.
I love that.
But that's the TV in him. That you're right. That's his industry. I mean, that was what it was like. I was a local TV news intern as a young pup, and it was constant TVs on. What's happening locally? What are the other stations doing? I'm like, there's soap operas are on.
I got a little bit of needles in me because I do feel like I just have the TV on regardless, just to have something rolling and some kind of second entertainment. However, it's tough because that's the internal struggle with kids. You're like, hey, we got to limit that screen time.
Yeah.
Screen time's a big thing, Drew. Screen time's a big thing, Drew, especially on parenting talk, where they're going to tell you you're, debilitating your children's mental health and their excitement and vigor for life by putting them in front of a screen.
Constant guilt.
However,
I
watch some podcasts.
Guilt is where you place it, because when I was raising my child, when I was in your guys' shoes with the pre-kindergarten, it wasn't, we didn't have the tablets. We didn't have the screens.
100%.
Yeah. But it was, the VHS or the DVD that the first thing they learned to do was pop those tapes in and out.
That's right.
Right. And they knew how to watch their shows. And
this is how I get Little Mermaid on. This is how that works. Okay. That works.
I mean, I'm pretty sure my daughter's first words were daddy ball. Because they'd be sitting and watching the games, and my wife would say, Daddy's at the ball game. Daddy ball. Daddy ball. And so that became daddy ball was the word for every sport. And I'd come home after covering baseball, and I want to be home and chilling on the couch, and I want to watch the NFL and consume it.
Just load up,
lay on the couch, just cheese poofs and beers, and just lay on the couch. No daddy ball. Little Mermaid. No daddy ball. Cinderella. Like, what?
No, we're watching Ariel Dad. Sorry, bud.
The TV setup does help there.
The guilt, but it was the guilt of, are we letting this, because if you want to fold some laundry or something, you pop in a tape and let the kid watch. Now it's hand them a tablet. We're at the restaurant, hand them a tablet. We're in the car. They don't want to be in the car. Hand them a tablet. So part of me would say, yeah, I get that your reticence to do that, but also they're growing up amidst the screens. You might as well get them started in it and make them fluent in it and make them.
Man, what an incredible point. And that's the balancing act. Like, my kid can unlock my phone. Like, I don't, and some people are like, that's the most dangerous thing in the world.
Holds it up to your face.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's like, oh no, listen, the 4 numbers, I got that, bud. You might have to try harder than 11111. But like the fact is, they're going to live more on that than anything else. Like the development and even writing in cursive, I don't necessarily know is a thing in school anymore.
But what's more useful, cursive or knowing how to use the phone?
I think that's going to end up being better, albeit how it affects everything else. I don't know. I've grown up with the internet my entire life. Some people are going to judge this on the talk and text line, and it's open for you to either sponsor or to criticize and laugh at this point. You know what? I think I turned out all right. Right? I think I turned out all right with a computer and with enough technology that I think we all will figure it out. There was a certain amount of people that the only entertainment that they had was a stick and a rock to try to carve other writings into, and they turned out all right.
That's true, too. I mean, it is an insidious conflict as a young parent now, but hey, it is what can you do? On one hand, you're nervous about these things and this data that shows that. On the other hand, you're right, Billy. It's all around everyone anyway. So I always ask myself, is it the content or is it the screen itself? I mean, if I put Lena up in front of the window and have her look out the window, or I put up a screen of the outdoors. Well, what's the difference? So is it the screen?
Yeah.
So is it the content? So I don't know. You deal with this type of conflict and guilt about it every day, and in the end,
as long as the kids get their play time and can do things, because a friend of ours is a pre-K instructor and said kids these days can't stack blocks, and they're not used to doing stuff that the dexterity is not there because they can maneuver around a tablet. But when it comes to hand-eye coordination and things that are necessary for development, lacking.
100%. And that one I don't feel bad is because that kid connects with the back of my head with a baseball bat like that.
Your kids are running around
pretty solid.
Your kids are running around imitating every sport that they have on YouTube and stuff.
Well, that's true. The sports class yesterday, and my man's in full uniform.
Your kids inherited the YouTube sports rabbit hole from old Uncle Armen.
That's
over
right.
There. They're like, "Daddy, put in a game."
Let me see that '96 Super Bowl documentary
let's watch,
for one more time.
Magic Miracles and True Believers from the '87 Brewers.
You used to have to stack up tapes like you were working in TV and Cartex and radio. Now that it's all available on YouTube, and Daddy Ball's just become Banana Ball. With 2 clicks away,
fair, yeah.
2 clicks away, my daughter's not even 2 years and knows how to put on a banana ball. And I'm like, well, you know what? I guess we'll watch the firemen play the banana. We'll see what happens in this game.
You never know. Banana's got a big win this weekend. They needed one. They've been slipping in those banana ball standings. It is
huge.
Poor boy Dave Casper got mad when he saw that Savannah
He didn't
Bananas
like it. Dave
tab
won-
on ESPN, Drew. He saw Savannah
Didn't like it.
Bananas
You
tab
missed
on ESPN on their screen, on their homepage.
Man, was he
Under the
pissed.
More Sports tab.
This is ridiculous, guys.
There's banana ball, but not college baseball?
This is like, you have to look all the way in the website to find college baseball, and banana balls on the front page.
And they show, and they carry the College World Series and stuff. So
Oh,
you would think they would shamelessly.
One gets clicks and one doesn't.
Being the human centipede of self-promotion that ESPN is.
They fire them in as much as possible. They air potentially, though, I wonder, almost more Savannah Bananas games if they do than college baseball games.
Well,
that's a fascinating one.
It also seems like they're always on top of the app. I think that's a big thing too.
Oh, that's fair.
They're right there, but there was nothing better than when Dave gets indignant about a topic, thinks he's going to get support. Unfortunately,
and
it was
just
that
gets shot.
It was
right
that in the airport seat one that he didn't get it from us. And I was like, sorry, Dave, I'm not with you on this one, but I love you.
You
buddy.
know, Dave, he's a baseball guy.
Baseball guy.
Baseball
yes.
guy, big guy, not just like let's check the MLB scores.
The ultimate baseball guy, and I've never met anybody in my life who loves baseball more than Tim Kirkchin.
Perfect
And
example.
Tim Kirkchin, our spring training point guard, when he saw the bananas, he said it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen, and I loved it.
Loved it.
So if Tim Kirkchin can find place in his heart, for banana ball, why wouldn't anybody else?
How can you not
How can
enjoy
you hate the Globetrotters?
Right, when they start a game that they are taking on the tailgaters, they started out by grilling burgers. I mean, how on earth can you hate that? That's a great way to start.
Fans catch a foul ball on the fly, it's an out. I mean, come on, you're in the game.
You're thank you. You are EA Sports when you walk into one of those. We're excited. They're the Savannah adjacent teams come to American Family Field, and I expect them to blow that thing up. 102,000 people.
Well, that's the thing.
At Kyle Field. That's insanity.
The proof's in the pudding, man. The proof's in the pudding. They obviously have interest amongst a lot of people, and the masses are filling up those stadiums. I understand this is a different situation, not as many games, but the kids clearly love it.
I also saw one of my favorite ones, Drew, was a friend of mine in Cincinnati. There was some outrage or whatever, and he goes, somehow I watched my first game, and my father took me to see the Harlem Globetrotters, and somehow when a player, stole a nacho from somebody in the front row, pants the guy on the Washington Generals, I poked him and then laughed at him and then bounced the ball off his forehead. Somehow I was able to differentiate that between the Jordan Bulls.
Yeah.
Somehow I was still able to figure out that there is a difference and that there's room in real estate for both.
Yeah, what if the kids grow up not realizing you can't walk up to the plate playing video games? Or remember that one time they wheeled the TV to the plate? Like, I think kids will get it eventually. Yeah,
singing their own walk-up song could be a lot worse deal.
You guys mentioned really quick about being judged on the talking text line. Alex in Cambria is going to have to statements like this in the text line. Time to grow up and become real men, guys. You guys are overgrown children. Statements like that are going to require an explanation. I don't know what we talked about that really made him mad.
Children trapped in a bubble.
Children trapped in a bubble. I don't know what it is. He said something about parlays. I don't know what that means. Alex, we love the interaction, so you're going to have to explain further what you mean. I think statements like that require a little explanation and a little dialogue. I just want to let you know. But we do appreciate the interaction, guys. I know that always.
Well, and I'll say this, our boy Marcus in Iowa waking up early with us yesterday. He got me with Hot Stuff by Donna Summers. Great song, by the way. This morning, it's Hootie. The man can bump with anybody in radio. Yeah, great work,
Armen. Sorry.
Great work waking up on this Tuesday with us.
Wait till you hear what I had next for you guys. All right, let's just put it that way. All right.
I love that. 877-794-1973. Let's have some interaction. Yeah, we're at low tide in the sports. When we talk Packers schedule, like what did we say about parlays that made Alex mad? I don't remember.
I got mad because the Buffalo Bills cost me one in the middle of December early on.
I mean, come on, it happens. You're entitled. That's okay.
The one thing is, I would be remiss to not point out tonight, if you are going to the game, Alex, cover your ears. Potawatomi Sportsbook Shuttle will take you to and from American Family Field. Simply a same-day sportsbook bet or a sportsbook dining purchase. Get you the ride to and from. Because I expect it to be a raucous crowd here tonight, Drew. And now I will say, I have not confirmed this with Luis and the folks at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. So maybe you can. I don't think if you are barking at the park tonight, I don't think you can bring the pooch on the shuttle. I don't know that the dog can get into the casino to go on the shuttle. There's going to be a lot of pups at the crowd tonight. It's going to be a live night. Little League night, bark at the park. Two loudest nights at AmFam every single year.
I don't know. Last time I was in the desert, Billy, in Vegas, I saw more dogs in the casino than open bars. So I got to say, there are a lot of dogs in casinos. But to your point, yes, I don't think they're putting them on the shuttle, the Potawatomi shuttle. So please don't assume you can do that. All right, please check first, get confirmation. And if they're not allowing dogs in the shuttle, please be understanding. Okay, there's a lot of things that have to go into a dog night. And the Brewers probably have it prepared, but I'm not sure that's something Potawatomi is going to do for you. They'll do a lot of stuff for you.
Is that more of a statement as to the state of Las Vegas and Nevada at this point? Or what
I'm not anti-dog, but I don't think we should have so many in the casino like all the time.
I don't know that they're enjoying the flamingo as much as you think they might be.
I tend to agree with you, Billy. I don't think that's where they want to be.
I don't know. Until Luxor starts putting out water dishes, maybe they would be.
You know, maybe that's the next step for struggling properties to do that. Is to have.
I'm going to advertise for Circus right now.
That's
start becoming the greatest dog friendly establishment of all time. Just have food dishes, water dishes.
That's the right.
It already
place.
smells like in there.
Yeah,
so it works out pretty well. Carpets anyway.
Yeah, don't even have to clean them.
What a classic. Hit us up 877-794-1973. That's the number for the talk and text line. That's the number for some buy or sell props because we're going to get to those after 6 a.m. Dolph will be here for halftime at 6:30, and we hope to connect with our pal Bill Schroeder at about 7:30 this morning. All right, so I don't know if people are salty. It's only Tuesday. Let's get it going.
I was going to say.
Nice day today.
Stay salty.
A little bit of some rain showers, but a nice day
Our guy
today.
Dan in West Bend sent in this sunset or this sunrise. Drew, I don't know how you can be mad on a Tuesday when it's looking like that out here.
That's beautiful.
It's like we're rolling in here and the sun's starting to come up already.
You know what? I appreciate that.
The flicker of
Billy
light.
used to check his sunset in like the seventh break of the show. So second hour or third hour. That's what it used to be in the winter. Now it's like, all right, it's already coming up.
I'm seeing it a little bit when I'm pulling in. I almost feel like I'm late. Oh, it's beautiful.
Love it. Love it. We're off and running Tuesday. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. DJ Armen, sorry, and bringing us back. The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison. Everywhere on the iHeart app, streaming live, Facebook, YouTube, and the X.
I know everyone loves this song.
You just drop a little Four Seasons on it?
I mean, why not? Frankie Valli, what's good?
Oh, my
I
God.
know. It was here. This are Big Girls Don't Cry.
Hey, I remember. What a night, dude. This is one of the... This song will put you in a great mood whenever, however, wherever you listen to it.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So that's why I'm like, there's no one out there, maybe not thinking about this song, but they're happy they heard it.
Armen missed his calling because he should be working weddings.
Yes, 100%.
I appreciate
You've
that.
been to so many of them, and you know the flow, and you know when to mix in the oldies that get Grandma and Grandpa and Aunt Gert out on the floor.
You know, I appreciate that. I thought about it.
Except that your love of that Timber song is just.
Well, I throw it in there. I throw it in there for the people. I don't have to play it. You can always put it on the no playlist.
Yeah, that's true.
But you know what? I would contend, Armen, there's not a whole lot of weddings that one's on the no playlist.
That's a great point, Billy. I don't think there is too, because
that's going to spice up any night. That's
when
for sure.
When you have a couple, you want to party. I'll be honest with you. The pressure overwhelmed me. I mean, if you're a DJ and you mess up the wedding somehow, you mess up the intro, you read a name wrong, that's forever. You know, so I was like, I don't know if the stakes are too high for me. But now I heard a story. This is about some dirty stuff. Is that true? This song?
That is for sure.
I didn't know that until I read the Wikipedia. Yeah. Like
also the whistle song by Flo Rida.
Well, that one I kind of
about dirty stuff. Yeah,
that one I kind of surmised on my own.
What a night. Oh, what a night.
Pretty sure my parents saw Frankie Valli once, and he just ripped on every musician post 1980. Like
wow.
he just went on a tirade about how there's no one that can make good music like we do now.
That's what I'm talking about.
I think
so. A lot of good 80s and 90s NBA energy from Frankie Valli is what you're saying.
All that stuff. Like it wasn't like it was. You know, a lot of good SNL was way better 50 years ago. Energy.
I love that so much.
You know, everyone. That's a popular take for any generation.
Listen, it was always better when we enjoyed it.
That's it, right? When my time capsule, whatever I'm saying, mine or that person's time capsule of the primacy bias, that's when it was at its best. That's what everybody claims. Same with college. Campus, it was better when I was there. You know, they closed all the best bars down. And then they're going to say that 20 years later.
Yeah, in all reality, it wasn't, bud. No, it's much better because they have air conditioning in there and internet all over the place. I also saw the Isley brothers are coming back to Summerfest. Now, you want to talk about some impressive talent.
Man,
when they start hitting the vocals, now we're having some fun.
That seems like a Drew Olson show, the Isley brothers.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know. It's probably like the nephew of the original Rhodey who has the rights to the name, and that's like, I'd have to check.
I was going to say, because I don't know, when you're starting 54 in 54, I don't know if that's it. Yeah. But you hit any good Motown, I'm going to be in on the conversation. Like that starts getting played. That will get me chair dancing unlike anything else. But Frankie Valli started.
I saw Cool. I remember seeing Cool and the Gang at Summerfest. And I remember thinking, man, I don't think Cool's out there, but the gang got really huge.
That was the best thing about Summerfest back in the day was they used to have like the Pabst stage and the old style stage, and everything was themed. And like Pabst was like the oldies. And I'd be strolling by and it's like, oh, that's Chubby Checker. I've heard of him. You know, my parents talked about him.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. So I saw so many acts like that, like just incredible acts that, you know, I wouldn't have gone and seen on my own, but I just stumbled past them and watched them and say, oh, I've seen them. So I checked a lot of Hall of Famers off the boxes doing that.
And there's no other event you can do that for the price you're doing.
Not at all.
That almost made the Summerfest the greatest thing there ever.
And we're only 37 days away from Summerfest. They're having a little gathering this evening, like a pre-Summerfest.
Oh, now we're talking?
Gathering tonight that I'll get to go to because I don't have to do a show in the afternoon anymore. I can do it in the morning and have my afternoons free. So while Billy's getting his pregame on to go to the Brewers game at Bark in the Park, I will be hanging out with folks from Summerfest.
I love that because then you're going to get all the inside information for us on the best ones to be able to see. How excited / nervous are you for the full runway of a full Thursday and Friday where you don't have to do this? Now, maybe the show was kind of a nice buffer to like hold off.
It was, yeah. But it also prevented me from seeing some of the bands that they put at 4:30 now and stuff, like the old people bands, which have Gen X bands.
Yeah, but again, some of the bands that you want to see, like you mentioned some of the greats. Those are my favorite ones to find on Summerfest lineup of the ones that like I used to be listening to on the 5 o'clock cartoons. Exactly. When my dad would be when we'd be driving around in the Camaro. Those are, and also, God bless you, I'm in for a 4:30 show a lot more than I am for a 10 o'clock show.
Nowadays, yeah.
I'll be frequenting the 4:00 main stage headliner a lot more than I'll see that 10:00 headliner.
No question.
Dad had a Camaro?
Oh, he had a couple of Camaros.
Mr. Schmidt. I was unfamiliar with their game. That's
he was
cool.
a big Camaro guy.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a black one that had some T-tops at one point.
Oh, baby. Now let's go.
IROC action in there. Oh yeah, my dad was into the cars.
Cool cars, man. It's pretty awesome.
All right, 877-794-1973. One of my favorite things that happened last evening came after the Cavs victory, and James Harden's at the podium, and he's sporting a Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim fitted. And someone asked, like, hey, you wearing that because they're in town playing the Guardians? And it's like, I don't think he knew who the Guardians exist.
I had no clue what it was.
No clue. And it's like, now the internet's going like, well, that's because they don't have the MLB package at the strip club.
That's pretty.
Or James Harden doesn't watch. James Harden's like, I don't watch TV. I just
go to practice.
I just get up and go to practice and play basketball.
Well, you learn in the mid.
So he lives in a bubble. Now, when you're in the playoffs, and I've only experienced this from covering the playoffs, but you do get into a bubble. When you're in a series, it's like your whole life, everything else is like out there, and you are focused and you're in a bubble. But James Harden is in his own bubble and has been for a long time. I was going to
say, yeah, he's in a universe that revolves around the center of that beard, and he's pretty impressive at doing it.
And this might be a cultural thing or something, but when you see someone wearing a fitted and it matches like their shirt, shorts, and shoes, you don't assume that that's their favorite team.
That's
it's just like it's the fashion thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So hats can represent your favorite team, or it can just be a fashion choice in the color palette.
A lot of people wearing a lot of New York Yankee hats, and it wasn't necessarily because of the Bronx Bombers. It was because of Jay-Z for a long time.
Absolutely.
Right?
The mid 2000s is when everyone started wearing, when the hats got more creative and everyone started wearing them. You remember the famous AI rant practice? He's wearing a Red Sox hat. I'm sure he's not a Boston Red Sox fan. Maybe he is, but I doubt it. It's part of the culture, the look, the fashion was to wear those different hats. So yes, to your point, I remember covering a Marquette game in college, and Travis Diener has a big game, but I'm a student reporter. And the press conference, he comes in wearing a White Sox throwback. And they asked him about Ozzie Guillen, and he's like, "What are you talking about?" It was just part of the fashion, So.
Yeah, it is weird that people have.
Apologize, I'm unfamiliar with his game.
Exactly.
Especially in the NBA culture. Those guys couldn't name an MLB player.
Right.
No clue.
No. But you mentioned it, though, about the series, Drew. It is crazy how your whole life has to revolve around those 7 games. And that one, thank goodness for that one, because otherwise we'd have no good series in the NBA this round.
No question. We're off and running. Buying and selling starts next. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. We start with baseball. A quiet night on the MLB Diamonds. No one in the Central was in action. The Brewers on a bit of a heater after winning 4 straight, including 3 over the Yankees Mother's Day weekend. Tonight, the Padres come to town for 3. Brandon Sproat will pitch against Matt Waldron. Game time is set for 6:40. On the ice in St. Paul.
Again, Brock Nelson. He must feel somewhat snake bit. Tipped by Waugh. Tries again. Backdoor score! Oh, what a pass by Nick Waugh to set up Colton for the go-ahead goal.
A pair of empty netters late made the final score look worse than it was. This was a great game, close the whole way. The Avalanche did come away with a 5-2 win over the Wild. Colorado up 3-1 in the series. And the NBA playoffs continued last night. Conference semifinals action. OKC is moving on. The Thunder defeat the Lakers 115-110 to complete the 4-game sweep. The Cavaliers square things up at 2 games apiece with the Pistons, Cleveland winning 112-103. Hour 2 of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras.
Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddle.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Bill Earth for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 hit. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18 Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the board y'all do. Let's go out and kick the tail. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. You got to sit our guys after and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
Armen, Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Huddled up on a Tuesday. Drew, Billy, Armen bringing it to you from headquarters. Buy or sell Tuesday. You can get us at 877-794-1973. Brewers Padres tonight. NFL schedule release coming out Thursday officially, but in drips and drabs before that. I wonder what leaks we're getting today. Like what are we finding, like Amazon games or something?
Today is the big Disney day. Today, Disney gets to announce, I believe they're up front. Tom was the one that broke the news. I know you love that one, Armen.
Love when Tom breaks it. Yeah.
He was speaking at the Fox up front. The Andrew Marchands of the world were there to let everybody know when and how and where and exactly the moment that they let out. But today, 4:00, we find a game out about Disney. And then tomorrow morning, they need to figure this out to be able to line up and help us out, Drew, because again, I don't know that we can stay on an extra 25 minutes to know the international game. But tomorrow, 8 a.m. Central, they'll release the international games. And then in the afternoon, they'll hit Netflix and YouTube. I don't know if Netflix will fire out all of the Christmas games because they now have worked a super secret, talk about buying and selling. Now these are full commodities that like the different entities are trading amongst each other almost like either, Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh cards or ho-hos and zingers at the lunch table.
Hang on, Yu-Gi-Ohs? And by the way, ho-hos don't exist anymore. We talked about that.
Yeah.
What are Yu-Gi-Ohs? I never heard
Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Okay, is that like a new Pokemon or is it in the same universe?
I mean, the show came out when I was like 12 or
I never heard
8,
of it. All right,
so,
all right,
yeah,
no problem. Just curious if I want to be part of the culture, so I want to make sure I don't miss anything.
Yeah, Blue-Eyed White Dragon. Go check that one out. Pretty. Not necessarily, no, but I'll show you. But the Netflix deal is they sold part of it for one of the nightcap is going to be on Fox. They end up adopting the Rams and 49ers game. So there's some passing, some buying and selling that's rolling through here. But tomorrow morning we'll figure out if indeed, Drew, we have one of those early morning post games. And the real early morning is for our friend Dennis Krause on Packers preview, because that one will be very early on the start if they hit that 8:30 kickoff.
My goodness. Yeah.
Actually, Doug Russell, the earliest one, right?
Earliest for
That's true. Doug will be involved in that, so that'll be a good one.
He'll be cooking waffles though. That's a good thing for all of us.
Oh, I love when he does that. Yeah, gets the grill going. Now, buy or sell. We'll get more drips and drabs. You mentioned the leaks coming out today on the schedule. Speaking of NFL leaks, buy or sell. We'll get one more. We're on this pace. Rossini Vrabel leak today. I mean, I'm sorry, it's like 1 or 2 a day right now.
Oh, baby.
Buy or sell. Now we got the week one. I thought that was a week one by TMZ with the arm around the party and the Super Bowl pregame party. That wasn't much to me. And we got yesterday Diana and her husband on Mother's Day. So that was an interesting one. So buy or sell, we're going to get at least one more leak today from TMZ because that's our pacing, guys.
Yeah, you know what, Armen? I'm going to sell because I think they're going to wait till like Thursday or Friday, right? Like I think they have it regimented out where like they give 24 hours notice of, hey, do you want to talk yet?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk yet? We got more. We got one more. We got one more. We got one more. Because it just appears that I don't know that there's a loaded smoking gun that they have here at the end. I mean, I think we've seen enough of them.
Sure.
Come on, guy.
Well,
but they are in a position where they're trying to keep it in the news cycle. And now it almost feels like the Vince Carter meme of, I got one more in me. Right? Like,
yeah.
I was as hot as anybody on the story, Drew. Even I'm starting to sell like the picture of her getting the kiss from the husband on Mother's Day. Like, okay. I mean, like that's the mother of his children. Come on,
well, that felt a little new and significant, at least to the rest of the story. That was more significant than there's a picture.
Oh, that's fair. No doubt. Yeah, you're
that's
right.
the first we've heard from them, but I get your point, Billy. I mean, this is really we're just looking for any old note now in the hallway to see if that relationship is still alive from Jimmy and Jane.
And maybe the pregnant boat ride, like that just might be too much of a cap that I don't know anything else is going to get me
that's our
more
limit.
Interested in it.
Yeah, that's our limit right there.
Like that to me is you won. Like you caught 7 months pregnant, 6-7 months pregnant, whatever it is, 6-7 months pregnant, walking onto a boat, renting it to hang out with the coach of the Patriots. I think we won. I think we got the best evidence that we're going to get. I think we can cash it in.
That was pretty wild.
Before we have to see Drew, like they said in Friends with Benefits, why don't they ever make a movie that happens after the big kiss?
That's a great point.
I don't want to see that one.
There's no doubt.
That's a boring. That's like what's for dinner, honey.
Yeah, we know what happens in that one. We don't need to see that one. So before we get there with page 6, we can calm it down and just make Vrabel the number one headline.
Yeah, I think we've had it. But to your point, though, the idea that the Patriots are going to get an early season marquee game that they have to promote, I don't know if they want to step into those waters.
I don't know. But I guess the best question would be, where did they open the season after the Orchids of Asia incident?
Oh, yeah. Well, that died down.
Well, and you know what? I don't know that counts because I think they ended up winning the Super Bowl.
They had playoff. Yeah, there were playoff games there.
Yeah, so they won the Super Bowl. It was the AFC Championship game when he flew to Kansas City, and they ended up winning the Super Bowl. So they would have hosted night 1 of the season. This is also just different because it's so unique. There's never been a coach that is fraternizing, however it is, with one of the coaches that you could possibly have real interest in. And I think the biggest drop ends up being now in 3 weeks when A.J. Brown gets traded on June 1st, right? That might be the last big drop, or where this story finally kind of meets its maker. Because now that everyone's talked about it, it does feel like it's we're really, really trying to breathe some oxygen into this one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good point, Billy. I like that. All right, we have buy or sells in the on the YouTube comments. If you guys want to,
let's go buy or sell 877-794-1973, or else
start
on the YouTube comments. We can see those as well.
Yeah, and I like those. So make sure you're chiming in always, any way you can. A great community here on the YouTube X Facebook. Buy or sell. Micah Parsons wins comeback player of the year this coming year. That's from Mike Witt. Now, comeback player of the year. Will he be hurt enough, or like long enough out, guys, to win, or in at the right time? Is there a little bit of something there? Because, he might start the season, might not. Comeback player of the year. What do you guys think?
Comeback player of the year. It's more of it's a narrative thing.
Big time narrative.
And he'll be coming back, but he's such an elite player that you expect him to be an elite player again. He doesn't have that, rags to riches kind of element.
I don't think he missed enough last year. Am I right?
I don't think he did either.
No, I don't know that necessarily matters as much. I'm trying to think. The bigger one for me is there's always a big quarterback that ends up getting hurt. And who on earth could I think of? Who on earth?
Or someone coming back from like
the guy that's won 3 of the last 6 Super Bowls, blowing out every part of his knee. I'm surprised Pat Mahomes isn't like a minus 210 favorite to win comeback player.
That's a good point, because that's the narrative. But has to be like career threatening, right? And Micah Parsons, like, you expect him to come back and play at a high level.
How crazy is that, Drew? Would you have thought about that when you first started covering ball, that a torn ACL would just be like the commonplace pulled hammy?
It's like pitchers with Tommy John. Like, hey, they're fixed.
They'll be fine. It's like Alex Smith had the crazy injury, or obviously almost being dead on the field.
That's a crazy
That was another big one.
The
so
Achilles.
I guess that's the threshold now. Not to make light of it.
It just doesn't seem like there's that juice there, right? Because did people talk about Rodgers being comeback player of the year at one point, coming back from an injury or something?
Coming off the Achilles, there was the conversation. I guess I can't remember who exactly ended up winning it that year, but he wasn't lights out. He wasn't game changing. The interesting couple here, as I look at the Potawatomi Sportsbook for the odds, Micah Parsons has shorter odds to win Defensive Player of the Year than Comeback Player of the Year.
I was going to say that's more likely.
My spoiler alert would be he wins Defensive Player of the Year. He's probably also winning Comeback Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if he has that kind of season, then there would be the shot. He's 8-1 to win Defensive Player of the Year, 12-1 to win Comeback Player of the Year.
So he's third on the list.
Right there in the midst of it. I think my favorite one is Kyler Murray sandwiching Mahomes and Parsons, because what's Kyler Murray coming back from? Sucking?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, he's not good.
I thought we tried to eradicate that one when they tried to give it to Baker Mayfield for just being mid, and then he's actually good. He's the comeback player of the year.
I swear I thought I forgot something. I was like, I'm not gonna say anything. I must have forgotten something that happened to Kyler. I'm like, what is he coming back from?
He had a little bit of a foot thing, I believe, last year that kept him out of games, but I mean, it seemed like they were kind of into playing Jacoby Brissett regardless of whatever foot thing was happening with Kyler Murray a year ago.
Malik Neighbors and Fred Warner, those seem like a couple options. Okay. Buy or sell, Pete, really quick. Armen, buy or sell. Your guy Giannis will still be a buck, and the charade doesn't go anywhere. Yes, guys, we had the report yesterday on Shams. Shams report, the Bucks are selling or looking for offers.
Again,
open offers.
Jimmy Haslam said like 2 weeks ago.
Last week.
Was it last week? I thought he had said before, like, we're either going to trade him or he's going to accept the extension.
Wes Eden said that during the season in the interview with Ramona Shelburne.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yep. Okay, so we're either going to trade. So that's been known, and it's known that they fielded or entertained offers at the deadline. So the story is the Bucks are open for business, listening to offers and people ideas about trading Giannis. Well, if they weren't, it's malpractice.
Then they would be Nico Harrison, and they would be getting their ass fired. Thank you, Drew.
So, is that a story? Like, I guess
it is.
But
it is.
They're open for business. Well, yeah. Now, and he's also positing that there are going to be talks at the combine.
Yep.
At the NBA combine, and that the Bucks want to have an idea before the draft, which is 5 weeks away.
That sounds about right.
June 23rd, something like that. I guess it's a story. It's shoveling coal into the furnace, but it's like, hey, Margaret, did you see the Bucks are going to listen to people who want to trade for Giannis as they throw proposals at him? Duh.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. Like, and Drew, it's a story for New Trier's favorite, who has to be able to try to keep some oxygen and keep his super cool hair into the conversation about it. Because, I mean, Shams yesterday, when he says the quote unquote report, because again, there's nothing in there that Jim Osarski or Eric Name haven't had in a story for weeks now, have had for weeks now. And they've also gotten quotes from people that are decision makers and Giannis. And not one of those has ever been infused into any bit of the ESPN story. Like, so the part of the reporting is honestly what I despise more than the context of it. The content of it, I actually appreciate. This is what you do. You see what market rate is. And if indeed you really feel like you want to push your finger down and say, hey man, no, we are going to try to build this thing. Give us a chance to show you what we can build. Give us a chance to show you this. Or you hear the trade offers and you say, you know what? It's not getting better than that. Let's get out now. That's business. And instead, as Shams is getting ushered off of the McAfee show yesterday, he goes, wait. Do you guys want to ask me about Giannis?
Yeah.
You guys want to ask me about Giannis? And Pat just like laughs. He's like, go ahead, bud.
Yeah.
Go play in your Go play in your Giannis sandbox. Do it. Do what you have to. Even joked about it at the end of it. McAfee's like, I appreciate you making sure that you keep shoveling that Giannis coal. Hey, Chomps, at some point he's going to get traded, bud. At some point he's going to get traded, and you're finally going to be right on that.
I kept him real on it. And then not only that, in the ESPN article, buried in paragraph 12 was, oh, by the way, the Bucks are also leaving the door open to pursue a major trade to persuade Giannis to stay once again, allowing Horst to work parallel paths. So basically, the story is also that they might, try and actually be buyers and trade for somebody, but that's buried in paragraph 12. The fact is that either one could happen, and that wasn't the headline, of course. So we still don't really know much about what will happen. And this idea that they wouldn't be taking offers or at least listening is ludicrous. Anyway, of course they're going to listen to what people are offering them.
And they're going to measure them against the offers they got back at the deadline, right? And so they have that. They're getting all the information.
There's more information in my nightmare last night.
I know it's not game balls or kicks to the balls Monday, but I appreciate that Ozarski and Name, the two main local guys that cover the Bucks for us and provide us information, they're not chasing that stick.
No.
Right? And it's like they don't have to react to that every time. Now the TV stations locally do, because like, hey, it's a new report, and like, oh yeah, okay. The Bucks are open for business. The Bucks have been open for business forever.
Right. Well,
and that kills me. And again, I go back to when I was working at a newspaper back in the day. There was this guy that wrote for USA Today named Hal Bodley, kind of a grandfatherly guy, covered baseball for a long time. Hal Bodley came out with a thing one time saying that this was in the time when they were talking about contraction and relocations and stuff. And Hal Bodley had this thing that baseball is going to realign. And he basically said there were going to be new divisions. And one of the divisions was going to be the Brewers in a division with the Rays, the Marlins, the Expos, and the Blue Jays.
In the cast-off division?
Like the randoms? Yeah.
Basically, yeah. It's like that was one of his divisions that he had in his proposal. And it hit USA Today, and our editors like got all excited about it. And they're like, hey, you guys going to write about this today? I'm like, why would I write about that? Bud Selig is the acting interim commissioner for life. He's going to put his own franchise that he's bled for into this island of misfit toys? Like, well, can you call Bud and get a comment? Why would I do
I'm
that?
not bothering him. I'm not interrupting his Gillies hot dog on a Tuesday afternoon for that. They wanted us to chase the stick, and we didn't want to chase the stick. And it's like, well, all right, I do have something else to call Bud about, so I called. I guess I'll ask him.
And all right, so the code that we had was that Bud, there was a guy, another writer for the AP, National Baseball writer, who I shouldn't name him, but I will. His name was Ron Blum.
Mm-hmm.
Bud's pet nickname for that guy was, that guy's a demented moron. Not just a moron, a demented moron. And I actually used that for my buddy Homer, because Bud referred to Homer as that a few times too. So the code became, Bud would be venting to me, and he'd say, "What's with your buddy Homer down the dial?" And I'd be like, "Is he getting the Ron Blum Award?" Yeah, he's a demented moron too. So demented moron became this phrase for me in hardcore, because when somebody did something stupid, like, you're a demented moron.
Sounds like Ron
Blum. I called Bud about something else. I'm like, hey, Bud, what about this Hal Bodley thing? Oh, geez. I'm like, is he the new Ron Blum? Oh, well, he's a moron, because he
stole it.
He's like, there's no way. And we just laughed about it. And thankfully, I resisted, and we didn't have to put anything in print about the rumor, because there was absolutely no way. Like, there's nothing to it. So it would be stupid for us to give it oxygen, and even like, let's just let it die. Right. And people, on its face, people could see how stupid that was, because how does that help in terms of time zones and travel and like anything?
Nothing. Everybody reading it with a brain would say that makes zero sense.
Zero sense. And especially since Bud would be the guy masterminding this, he's not going to put the Brewers into this division where it makes no sense, no regional rivalry. Brewers are going to be in a division with no team from Chicago, no team from Minnesota, no team.
You get no points.
Are you nuts?
We are all dumber for listening to this ridiculous idea.
So the idea that
travel
schedule and
chasing
the sticks, even if it's from a air quotes like reputable outlet, like like a national outlet, it's not always great. It's not always.
And that's where I struggle. And that's where I really struggle with the Shams part of the reporting here, because there's been some exceptional reporting on it. Obviously, Jim and Eric do their thing, and they do it as well. Lori Nickel actually again got like multiple sessions of quotes from Giannis. Sam Amick went and interviewed him walking out, and actually again had quotes from Giannis about it. There's not one time where the quote unquote most important news breaker and information guy in basketball I've ever seen talking to the guy, other than when he was getting benched during the celebrity game. Right. And then again, you want to talk about one of our other problems, Drew. The guy is in the celebrity game. What are we doing here? Like,
that's
you want to tell me that this guy is supposed to be
is something that wouldn't happen back in the old days.
No,
man.
like
there would have been a line there that you're not,
because they want to make him. They
celebrity.
want
You're not
to
a
make
brand.
him
You're not
the new Woj, and you're just never. All they did was transfer the sender. They transferred the sender where you would send the email and it would go right to Woj. Now it gets redirected to Shams and then he copy and pastes.
Yep. You're right. 877-794-1973. Let's do some more buying and selling throughout the day. When we come back, we've reached halftime already. Time to make our adjustments. Time to eat a little Uncrustable.
I need one.
A couple of orange slices. It's not cold out, but if you want to, Billy, you can go sit in the sauna.
I was gonna say I'm gonna do a little contrast.
Get
actually.
a little loose.
Yep.
It ain't warm out. Let me tell you that.
Dolph is gonna join us next. It's gonna get up to 70 today.
Yeah, it's gonna be hot today.
But it's 40 right now. So you're right. There's a dichotomy there. It will be 72.
Yeah. Didn't feel
6
like
p.m.
40, but
yeah.
All right. So Dolph is going to be in next. We will chat with him. We'll continue to take your buy or sell props. We haven't even scratched the surface yet. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Rolling along the Tuesday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, Armen, joined by our halftime correspondent from Trinity College, Scott Dolphin.
Yeah, my souvenir from Dublin, Trinity College, which I didn't know anything about, but it's like 500 years old.
Whoa!
And if you watch Harry Potter movies, you see the scene with that iconic library where the books go all the way up the ceiling. That was what it's modeled on. They have that library at Trinity College. So we got some.
How about that?
Okay. I came back with just a Guinness shirt, and Dolphin actually goes all the way.
At least somebody was studying a little bit.
Yeah, I got one of those too. Hey, that was part of the tour. So
by the way, I get back from Costa Rica and I find myself passing people in the hall saying "Hola" and stuff, and just said, But did you come back with a brogue at all? And did you come back with the love of Guinness? Because when you have Guinness in Dublin, you'll never have a better Guinness than actually right there. It's in the water.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't think I've purchased any cans or bottles of Guinness here, but I have had a few on tap since I got back from Ireland.
And it still is delicious.
It is. It is. Now they'll tell you that it's crap over here because it's what is it? Is it pasteurized or homogenized? Whatever they do to it here is different than how you get it over there.
It is different.
Oh wow. Okay.
It is different, and it is delicious there.
Guinness had to have been one of the biggest spook me, not what I was expecting drinks of all time. Right? Like sometimes you take a bite of a food and you're like, that was not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
You take a drink of Guinness and I'm like, wow, okay, I was expecting this to be a mocha latte in my mouth. And instead, it almost tastes like a light beer.
It's very light. And we're conditioned, I think, as Americans to have that burn and that distinct flavor of a beer. And that ain't it.
No.
When you have a Guinness.
You're not getting into creameries and stuff like David Bakhtiari, are you? I don't know if you guys saw that on Twitter yesterday. David Bakhtiari's trying to buy a creamery, I guess.
To buy a creamery,
Start making some yogurt. I thought it was funny because the first tweet was like, does anyone know anyone at a dairy farm? Anyone have a dairy farm? And of course,
you played in Wisconsin.
And your followers. So you have hundreds of people like saying, yeah, my family's got one. I work at a farm. And then he's like, are they for sale? I'm like, what are you trying to do here? Like, you think someone's gonna say, yeah, come by my farm, a creamery on Twitter?
I think there would be some. I think there's someone that would say, hey, hand raised in air, Big Dave, NFL guy's going to come and get us up out of here. I think we'll do that.
If anyone's wondering, it's David Bakhti yogurt, okay, coming to a store near you.
I love it. So it's specifically yogurt then.
He wanted to start making yogurt. I don't know if he was just bored on Twitter yesterday, but that was or X. That's what he was talking
I always
about.
thought yogurt happened naturally. If you just, leave milk in the refrigerator long enough, it just turns
curdles up
yogurt.
that way.
When yogurt goes bad, how can you tell? Because it's kind of already predisposed to be.
Feels a little spoiled either way.
Pasteurized, homogenized, Bakhtiariized.
Yeah.
I love it.
But anyway, the Guinness discussion is funny because
it's fun to go there. I mean, that brewery is ancient.
And when you see Dublin, feels like a small town.
It's true. It's very compact, easily walkable.
And not a lot of like tall buildings or anything. It's
very,
very walkable. It feels like you're in a small town.
Have you seen the Guinness series on streaming about the Guinness family? I don't know how much of it is true, but after the old man died, the brothers and sisters are all kind of they're all messed up. They all have serious problems, but they're trying to run this brewery. Yeah, it's a good show. Season 1 was last year, and enjoyed it very much.
Do we know what it is? What it's on?
I should, Billy, but
I'm interested.
I think it's Netflix. I think it might be Netflix, but I'm not sure.
Because I am trying to find a show that I'm actually going to watch.
Yeah, you'll enjoy that one.
Because I struggle, then I find a show, I get enough recommendations, I watch the first episode, and then I'm like, oh, that's sweet, that was good.
And then you're done.
And then I totally forget to go watch it again. So I need to watch the first
My wife is watching The Pit right now.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people are watching that one, right?
That's a good one.
The new Steve Carell one, Rooster, is pretty enjoyable. Where he goes back to he's a trash novel author, but he goes back to this college university to teach.
I'm to the point where I might as well just cancel streaming service because I don't even look. I can't even remember the last time I fired up. Now that the Badgers have been done playing hoops, Peacock.
Haven't opened it.
Haven't opened it. Never look at any. I don't look at. I very, very rarely fire up Netflix.
I'm glad you said that about Peacock because I actually alerted myself to cancel mine because all of a sudden the little guy bumped it on the preset button. I'm like, wait a second, we don't need anything on here. We're gonna save that $10.99. We don't need to watch any episodes of Parks and Rec right now. We'll
just cancel any time, right, and then pick it back up once football starts.
Yeah, follow it back up, and you start figuring out what day the schedules are, and that week we'll end up buying it.
That's funny because I'd be tempted to dip into the Kevin Hart roast on Netflix, but I've already seen a clip. I've seen the clips already, so man, no need.
I was going to say we're also in such a good clip society that I struggle watching
That's
a full
good
show.
point.
I mean, like I know I am problem A on the short attention span that I got about 3 to 4 minutes and then you start losing me.
I've never watched Landman, I don't think, but I've seen so many clips.
That's the one I don't have. I don't have Paramount Plus. I hear that's a great show, but we got to draw the line somewhere.
But I've seen so many scenes from it on clips that I feel like I've watched them.
I've really been getting into the documentaries lately. Watched the Mel Brooks 2-part documentary.
Nice.
Fantastic. The George Carlin one where they mention him getting arrested at Summerfest. He mentions it. That one was pretty interesting. So I really love those documentaries. You know, the older you get, you want to be closer to
the comfort zone.
Yeah, and the stuff you grew up with.
What's is the music? We talked about it with Matt Miller last week, Movie South. Is the biopic hitting the country music scene yet? Or are we still bouncing around with like the Michael Jackson one everybody's all excited about right now?
Giannis was there. I saw that. We're watching the Michael Jackson movie.
And people loved it. Critics hated it. But I feel like that's anything that's good. Like anything that generally is good and enjoyable, the critics will say it's not artsy enough for us.
The biopics really haven't hit country music. I mean, unless you go way back,
Sure. The Johnny Cash ones and things like that.
Yeah, that was Walk the Line. That was 2005. So it's been 20 years. The other great ones the AI internet is telling me to see is Coal Miner's Daughter.
Sure.
About Loretta Lynn.
Yeah.
That was from 1980.
Sissy Spacek and Jessica Lange.
Correct.
They did the Patsy Cline thing, too.
And then Sweet Dreams, which was in
that
85
was Patsy Cline,
Patsy Cline, right?
You're right.
Exactly.
There was one of Hank Williams Sr. a while back.
Yeah. What was that?
You're talking about Blaze. No, not Blaze. Hold on. You're talking about Your Cheating Heart?
Your Cheating Heart. There you go.
Yeah.
That one.
I remember.
There's also one, 2015, I Saw the Light. Primary modern biopic of Hank Williams.
Oh, okay.
So maybe we're due for one.
Maybe we are. I will say, I remember Walk the Line, and that was probably maybe a movie that was just a little over my skis on the rating side when I was like 11 years old, watching that. Reese Witherspoon.
Come on, now.
That was bringing an absolute fastball in
Nashville native, by the way.
Oh, my goodness.
And she's still living there. She's around a lot. Yeah. I've got some people on the ground there that tell me about it.
You've got Nashville insiders?
No, my sister-in-law used to live there for exactly 1 year and said she saw her out and about in some of the bougie areas. But Billy, to your point, what were we just talking about? Oh, yeah, Reese Witherspoon.
Talking about your boots on the ground in Nashville.
Yeah.
What other cities do you got info? You got informants.
Literally boots on the ground in Nashville.
Greendale.
Boots scooting.
Well, yeah, that's funny.
Scooting all over the place.
So if we're due for a country music biopic, I mean, who's the next legend that's matriculating? It's got to be Kenny, right?
I think you have to have conflict in your life, right? And I'm trying to think of people in country. So if they pick one, it's probably going to be somebody maybe you won't know or you won't know as well.
Oh,
that's dealt with. Maybe Morgan Wallen. I mean, he's off to a lot of drama, even though he's a superstar successful right now.
He sells, that's for sure.
I had a one-on-one with a very pissed off Garth Brooks.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was after he was 0 for 2 with an error in a spring training game against the Brewers when he was playing for the Padres.
That's awesome.
Spring. He was throwing stuff into his bag and he wasn't happy. And I just asked him, a couple of questions and got out of his way.
Dude, it's like, what do you expect? You're looking at big league pitching.
Exactly.
What do you expect you're going to do?
The fact that you're not even just grossly embarrassing yourself.
So this wasn't Will Ferrell's spring training version where he went around to all the other teams?
Garth went a couple different years with different teams.
Yeah, he spent that year he was with the Padres.
Was he with the Mets at one point too?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. Multiple times from 98 to 2004 promoted his Teammates for Kids Foundation. Stood up for the Padres, Mets, and Royals. And he got a few hits over numerous at-bats, which is funny to me because the charity thing is cool. He's one of the most successful musicians of all time, but was frustrated he couldn't be an athlete.
Right.
So I always
he was an athlete in high school, and he was, I believe he was a full ride at Oklahoma State in track and field.
Oh, wow. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
It was like javelin or something like that. But I mean, not he didn't get drafted in baseball.
Entertainers always want to be athletes, and athletes always want to be entertainers.
That's true.
It seems like
athletes are entertainers,
and all athletes want to be basketball players that aren't.
There you go.
Yep, that's generally where it ends up going to.
Yeah.
Bieber's got some game.
That would be a good one. Yeah, J. Cole actually ditched making music to go play basketball in China.
Did Master P try that too?
Mm-hmm. A lot of guys are.
I know Master P had game when the little Bow Wow versions came out.
Early Shaq went all in on trying to make a rap career. I mean, whether or not you believe he had some.
Ron Artest only got suspended for the NBA for a whole season so he could start his rap career.
Ron says, I gotta make my album. Sorry, Larry. And I told Larry
Ron
Bird.
Artest, man, that dude.
Too classic.
I'll never get the story when he was with the Bulls when he he wanted to save on a new home stereo system at Best Buy, so he filled out an application just so he could get a 10% discount. You play for the Bulls.
That.
Meta world peace, man.
I love that energy.
That.
I love that energy. Yeah. Now, the best song of all time by an athlete is, of course, Jump in the Stands by Robert Brooks.
Oh, come on.
1995.
Good one. Yes. Yeah. Good winner. Yep.
Armen had to get that pull in there. That's too funny. Too funny. All right. So, Dolph, with the changing of the seasons and the passing of time and the passing of the torch that we're seeing, like LeBron, is he done? Is Rodgers going to come back? Likely, it looks like it's trending towards Rodgers going to come back, play one more time for the Steelers. I thought he should have walked off because his last playoff moment was winning that game to get into the playoffs for the Steelers, beating
that being a
Ravens.
perfect cap. Yep, to give the Ravens the blow of the
Ravens,
kiss for Tomlin.
But Brady went out. Didn't Brady? Weren't they 8-9 and made the playoffs his last year? Like he won a Super Bowl. But
so his last year in New England, they make the playoffs and they get run by Tennessee. Last
Tampa.
year in Tampa, they win the Super Bowl, they go to the divisional round, and then they get drummed in the first round in his final game.
I think they were like 8-9 that year and still made the playoffs.
Yep, so won their division.
Nobody
and
remembers those
game.
games, right?
Well, and that's the thing. And we have this romanticized thing that everybody's got to go out like Elway did or Manning. Doesn't happen.
No.
Right? It's mostly like Jordan stumbling around with the Wizards or Willie Mays stumbling around with the
Mets.
The Mets.
Yeah.
And it's like when it's over, you don't want it to be over, but at a certain point, it's going to be over.
Yeah, and with Rodgers, maybe it's that time.
22 years?
I don't think LeBron's going anywhere because I think he truly believes he can still play at a high level, which obviously we saw at times in the playoffs.
And he's showing some of it.
And he thinks the Lakers, if they're full, although he said last night, I don't know if I'm coming back here or where.
I think that was definitely his last game with the Lakers. I think that was
felt that way.
Definitely his last game with the Lakers. I don't think that the two are on the same wavelength kind of timeline deal. There's some fascinating ones, but he can when motivated and into the playoffs, and you saw it throughout the year, like he played a different style of basketball than he has all his entire career and was still really effective. He gets into the playoffs when they lose their two best scorers and picks up where he left off, but you can only do that for about 3 games, and then you need somebody to come and shoulder most of the load because you are at some point 41 years old and you're just not going to have that kind of win in the sale.
So what you're saying, he's probably going to pick and choose where he goes if he does come back. Knicks? Where do you?
There it is, Dolph.
Yeah?
They hit that bell.
Knicks.
I think the Knicks or Cavs are the 2 places that make.
He's not going to come to his least favorite city, Milwaukee,
or is it
Memphis?
Right.
And then he wouldn't have to stay in the hotel.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's the thing. If you go play in one of those spots, Brown, then you don't have to stay in the ass hotel.
Unless
he's
he
going to go and hang out.
Unless he can convince them to move to Nashville. That was his original goal. Speaking of Nashville, he's like, why can't they put this team in Nashville already?
Oh, that's fair.
He joins the Grizzlies. Maybe they move to Nashville.
Like the Oilers,
Franklin.
Yeah.
Remember when the Oilers moved to Tennessee? They were in Memphis
for a year until the stadium was done, right?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah,
they played at the Liberty Bowl.
Crazy, isn't
Last
it?
thing that Franklin, Tennessee needs is another star to go and move in there.
Yeah.
Another big tax.
It is pretty bougie out there.
That's true. But we and the expectations, and we expect them to keep winning and playing at,
You're right, though. Brady and LeBron have wrecked the curve for all great stars, where you think that you can still be highly, highly productive into your 40s. No one does that, right? No. Mostly it's Drew Brees where you can't throw the ball more than 20 yards.
Exactly. And like KD, Steph Curry, like the injuries and just the drop off.
Damn, KD still looks good though, too, doesn't he?
Yep.
Still can fire it up, man.
When they can play, they are still as good as they've been. But what is that, a Toby Keith song?
Yeah, what is it?
I'm
as good once as I ever was. I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm good once as I ever was.
Yeah, but I'm going to need a lot more help to be able to get to that once, right? I want to burn that once in the elimination games for the opponent, not be having to carry the full load. The KD one's fascinating because I think he's on a different team because he blew up that Rockets team with the burner thing where he was talking nonsense about all his teammates and how these guys are idiots and I hate this guy can't pass, just blowing people up online. So he's probably gone. LeBron's probably gone. One of them might go and play in Golden State, or maybe Steph just ends his career there, and they're all going to be circled around the league, just finishing out their runs.
Barkley called it, and I know it offended Draymond a lot of Warriors, but they're cooked. They're cooked. They're gonna be a play-in team moving forward. One last ride with Steve Kerr next year, and then it's pretty much over.
Man, if Draymond Green would just laugh and just allow himself to laugh,
it would help.
He could have taken over for Charles Barkley by now. Instead, he's got to keep playing basketball because he's just not that good on television.
He's going to be more likable. That's
Oh, my God.
What you mentioned, Drew, though, is so true. We forget about how these guys fade away. I mean,
Unitas.
Favre on the cold turf of the Gophers football stadium, and Babe Ruth. I think he played for the Boston Braves, didn't he? At the end of his career, nobody and probably didn't do much because he was over the hill and.
Yeah, and Ichiro with the Marlins doesn't necessarily hit the same as Ichiro just being the best baseball hitter that I had seen, just pure singles all throughout Seattle.
Yeah, Emmitt Smith, Arizona Cardinals, same situation.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is because this group of American NBA stars we've grown to love so much, and a lot of people don't want that to end. I really think that's what it is, because around the corner, that same crop isn't coming up. I've tried to figure out why that is, what you're saying, Drew, because it's definitely true. We're trying to hold these guys to that young standard because we don't want to believe it's about to end and they're getting older. But that's the reality. And there isn't that inspiring group of young American stars behind. It was supposed to be Zion and Ja, and it just hasn't turned out that way. So maybe that's part of it, is that's the era that people don't want the NBA to end.
Maybe it's Cooper Flagg and Con Knipple.
It could be. I think it could. I
There you
mean,
go.
Con is definitely.
Well, SGA right now is our next guy.
He's ridiculously good.
I agree, but it doesn't seem like he excites people the way those guys did, even though SGA produces. You know what I mean?
Also, not an American superstar, right?
That's a good point.
The other,
He's
the other part.
Canadian,
The Canadian part is a thing.
Yeah, it's America's hat.
Yeah, but listen, until they decide to fall in line and grab that 51st, then SGA is yours, and that flopping act is up there and not down here.
Oh my goodness. What did we solve today? I don't even know. We just chopped it up.
But Red Hot Tim Knott had a good point. Wait, so you're trying to tell me Joe Dirt wasn't a country music biopic?
There you go.
It kind of was.
Yeah, I guess that was
It kind of was. I mean, the mullet and the mutton chops, pretty damn impressive.
I thought it was more of a Tiger King documentary than anything else.
Oh my goodness.
A preamble.
Dolph, thanks for popping in.
All right,
Mr.
fellas.
Trinity College.
Yeah, go
Always
Trinity.
Appreciate it. Halftime. Yes, indeed. We're through halftime. We're making our adjustments. Buckle up. It's Tuesday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Armen with the appropriate Toby. Rolling along the Tuesday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you. Halftime is over. This portion of the program brought to you by Game Day Men's Health. Check them out at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. I visited the Brookfield location yesterday after the show. Talked to my friends. Check them out. Go in for a little consult. Sign up for it. Pick the clinic near you, one in Middleton, several in the Milwaukee area. Go get that consult. Find out if they can change your life for the better. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. If you go to the gym, you hang around the guys who lift a lot, they're all talking about peptides, and Game Day Men's Health has them all. They can find you a stack that will help you reach your full potential. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. It's also time for a little who's hot and who's not. And Billy, brought to us by Donovan Jorgensen, Heating and Cooling. I'm thinking for who's hot. I mean, Aaron Ashby.
Phenomenal one. Leading Major League Baseball in wins, right?
Yeah. Now, the Brewers have 124 games left. And I don't think Aaron Ashby's going to win 28 games, but he's on pace, right?
Yeah, but I'll tell you, he might pitch in 128 of them. The way that guy has a rubber arm, Drew. We talked about surgeries all of a sudden somehow giving guys superpowers, and the old injuries that used to be death nails to careers are just like blips on the radar. That shoulder procedure, I don't know if they rubberized that thing, but my man throws every day.
It's just wild. So he's hot. The Mets are not hot, but they are now calling up their top outfield prospect, A.J. Ewing, because they've reached that point in the program where we need a little influx and infusion of talent and excitement and a positive news cycle.
Yeah, positive news cycle.
Well, and that also would mean that the mathematics, because the Spencer Jones from the Yankees came up.
Yep.
So does that mean that we're past the threshold for service time? Because I would think right around May generally seemed like that time that you could start bringing certain players up. Not thinking that's going to happen with a certain Made guy in the Milwaukee organization, but it could be interesting.
Or Cooper Pratt.
Right? Now we got to get into that conversation because I got a buy or sell coming up on that one. Also in the hot category, 43 points last night for Donovan Mitchell. And 39 of them in the second half.
Pretty good.
Folks that were sitting there with over 19.5 points for Donovan Mitchell at the Potawatomi Sportsbook looking at their sheet like, are you kidding me? 4 points after 24 minutes? Yeah, he woke up and Cavs have some life. That series is 2 apiece.
And he's the guy that took some criticism last couple games for his defensive situations.
Donovan Jorgensen is your the place for all HVAC needs, employee owned for 40 years.
Yeah, and Drew, this is my favorite part about Donovan Jorgensen. They do HVAC. Right, they don't also then do plumbing and siding, and they're not just mastering a bunch of different things. They're locking in on HVAC, and that's why they're the largest employee-owned one for 40 plus
Absolutely. Years. Speaking of that game and Donovan Mitchell, are you buying or selling that the Pistons have a beef about the officiating? Because the Pistons shot 12 free throws last night. Mitchell was 12 for 15 himself.
No,
I didn't go to the line. So there's a lot of that. The Lakers were bitching about the refs last night.
A lot of people had that.
Yeah, in the Lake. I mean, I've never seen it, Drew, where the full team huddled around the officials after the game like the Lakers did after game 2. Like, please, come on. Are you not watching this? Guys flop in the NBA. Charles Barkley said it on, I think it was on DP on this station a couple of days ago, where he's like, flopping's been happening for 100 years. Flopping's been happening since I played. Guys are always going to embellish to try to get the call. However, some have become so good at initiating the contact and then making it appear as if they're getting blown over, that Mitchell is learning from the best. You pair Donovan Mitchell with James Harden, and this is what you're going to get. He's going to be able to get and draw a ton of calls. But I didn't think it was poorly officiated last night. The other part of it is, Drew, I mean, and that's one of the reasons why I think basketball real lovers love watching Detroit. They play really, really physical. They play really intense defense. They're going to get into your kitchen, and they're going to earn some of those whistles. But Oklahoma City is different at it. I mean, they're really, really good at being able to initiate contact. Shea is a master at it. And Chet is as wiry as anybody. And he doesn't fight through the contact like a Giannis or Wemby. So it looks much worse when he gets hit.
Well, what do I say, Billy? A lot of it is bumper boats now. And, you know, we talk a lot about Julius Randle as well. It's a lot of bumper boats out there, and that's part of the game now. But it just seems to me that there's more complaining about officials from the losing team. Every day I'm putting on a shot sheet, there's an article about somebody complaining about the officials. A lot of sore loser talk. It seems like more in this playoffs than I've ever remembered before. There's always press conference complaining about officials whenever a team loses. For once, I'd like to hear someone complain or compliment the officials or complain when they win or say when they lose, you know, the officials were good at least.
Detroit's not buried yet, but try not to get outscored 24-0.
Well, that's an interesting series now.
That might help, huh?
I mean, did the refs have a hand in that? Well, okay, but make it hoop.
I thought, and we'll talk about it in this hour, I was buying suspension for Wemby. Instead, they sold that in the NBA. And these two, thank God we have two series, because otherwise we would be sweep city.
Awful. Yep. The final hour of today's edition of the Huddle coming at you next. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. The Brewers, after taking Monday off, are back at it tonight, hosting the Padres for 3. Brandon Sproat pitches against Matt Waldron. Game time is set for 6:40. After their sweep over the Yankees this past weekend, the Brewers find themselves tied for second place, 3.5 games behind the Cubs in the Central. The NBA playoffs continued last night. Conference semifinals action. It was the Cavaliers over the Pistons, 112-103. Cleveland knotting up the series at 2 games apiece. And the season comes to an end for the Lakers.
Rebound, James.
Oh, nobody.
Stolen by Hartenstein. Inside, Holmgren got the feed for Shea. The spinner is in.
The Thunder completing the 4-game series sweep, 115-110, the final from Los Angeles last night. Coming up tonight, it's the Timberwolves and the Spurs. Pivotal Game 5 at the Frostbank Center. That series is tied up at 2 games apiece. The final hour of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras.
Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Bill Earth for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to do. Let's go out and kick the tail. All right? 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Sit our guys after you and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sid says, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Dominating a Tuesday in the good land. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app, streaming live for you early risers, insomniacs, sociopaths, the Health Club at 5 a.m. We're streaming live on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing to you on this Tuesday. Brewers, Padres tonight. Billy Schmid planning to attend.
Now we go. Yeah, we got back-to-back games here. We're going tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to tomorrow.
I'll be going tomorrow.
It's I'm excited. Tomorrow's gonna be Ms. Day. We get Brandon Sproat today. I do believe I've now been in attendance for like 3 Brandon Sproat starts, maybe all 3 of his starts at AmFam, and I think one of them was that preseason game. So he is now my 2026 Dave Bush. Where like there was a year where all of a sudden it felt like every single night you go to the game. Whoa, it's Doug Davis again. Sweet. Awesome. Okay. Human rain delay. Claudio Vargas is on the mound. You get like that one year where you see the same guy every year, and this year just might be Brandon
The
Sproat
problem with Claudio Vargas is during day games, he couldn't win. It was the vampire effect. What was there something with him? Was it Claudio Vargas? He'd only win night games, but not day games. But Billy, I'm excited because you're going to eventually see Brandon Sproat's first win of the year.
At some point.
You know, so if you keep going, it's like you're his buddy.
I'm martingaling it.
Yes,
really is
you're
what it is.
martingaling it. Yes. And it's like your buddy. Who did I see? This guy flew to see his buddies return to MLB, flew around the country, had to get back home at 8 a.m. You're like him for Brandon Sproat. You're Brandon Sproat's #1 fan. So be careful because young Carson's going to want his jersey soon if he sees him get a win, or if he sees him enough.
Armen, Claudio Vargas apparently was more effective during his career during day games.
Oh,
okay. So it was one or the other.
Close.
One or the other. I don't know. So
you were
maybe
close.
It was somebody else. Maybe it was Victor Santos. Was it Victor? I'll figure it out.
That would be a good name.
I think it was Victor Santos. I guess
Claudio
I got him and
Vargas.
Claudio.
Bringing up some real highlights of Brewers.
I mean,
right here.
yeah, then you're really then you're driving down Yolis Chassin Drive.
He was our ace, and we almost went to the World Series, and he was our ace. You guys get out of town.
Billy and I in that COVID in the storage shed.
The all-time
at
great
Maryville.
moments, isn't it?
We're waiting for players as they're going to bring us out to this mix zone that they developed at the COVID shed, and we saw Yolis's bike.
His bike, right? Yeah.
And he hadn't been on the team for like a year. It's like, hey, can I have that bike?
Right, it's a nice
Let's
looking
have a
bike.
sale of stuff guys leave here behind when they leave.
And it's all nicer than anything else that I have at my house. So I might as well see if I can grab as much of it as possible. That was one of my favorite moments. And it also, he gave us many. The Prince of Darkness gave us many great lines. But I don't think there was ever one better than when Tom Hargicourt looked over at Mike Vasallo and said, Mike, thanks for keeping your sick players away from me.
Not having your players infect us with the coronavirus.
Sequestered us into a broom closet with shoes for guys that have been 5 years Boston Red Sox at that point.
You know, it makes me nervous for the future of print media and all media in general. Like, if we don't have
I wouldn't be that worried
if
about
we
it.
had those guys on the beat for 50 years, 40 years, they're not going to have those steel, salt of the earth guys and make those pithy comments anymore.
Right.
That's why. That's what we need. You know what I mean?
Right. Instead, we got guys, horking up jumpers at the celebrity game.
Yeah, 100%.
877-794-1973 gets you in. It's a buy or sell Tuesday. Are you buying or selling? You let us know. What do you got for us? And we kicked it around a little bit. You buying or selling that officiating is a major problem in the NBA? Because I think I'm selling that. There's a lot of sour grapes and squawking about it, but I think I'm selling it.
I'm with you because there's just not enough evidence in front of me to say that it's a massive problem. Now, are there days and are there games that I think are poorly officiated? Sure. Now, I do think in the NBA, they've got what the NFL was finally able to pass with the ratification of their new CBA, which is the ability to take the best officials and put them in the biggest games, right? And continue to pump the top officials into the playoffs. And they even, put out cool graphics about it of like, these are the officials that have made it to the second round.
Rated the highest.
And I think that's a part of it, Drew. In a sport where you need, in a climate where you need too much transparency, you can't have it be any worse than it used to be. And also for some folks that have said like the officiating's bad, I just think it's harder to officiate because the guys are bigger, faster, stronger, and even better at embellishing things, right? Like even better at making the contact look like it's severing a limb off of their body, when in all reality, Shaq put up with a lot more physicality than that throughout his entire career.
For sure. And the whole LeBron gets all the calls. Yeah, LeBron, whose team just got swept 4-0. Like,
no,
the playoffs. Like, okay.
If you watch Giannis enough, and Bucks fans have been able to see it, there are nights where you're like, how on earth does he not shoot 30 free throws a night? For every single time he drives to the basket, there's a foul. It's a lot of what happens with the biggest guys. And you get rewarded when you flop the most. I mean, Joel Embiid ends up shooting some of the most foul shots of anybody in the NBA because my man is on his back more than he's on his 2 feet. Like you sadly get rewarded for it, albeit I don't think it's a problem. I do think the officials have swallowed the whistle a lot more into these playoffs. And much like we learn every single April and May and into June, it's just a totally different game once you get into the postseason than it is in the regular season. You're almost watching two completely different sports.
I agree, Billy. It's totally different. And then therefore it's going to look different and be officiated as such. Corralling My Chaos on YouTube, it brings up the point that I think is part of the problem, right? Because the more people complain, or teams and players complain about it, the more it brings into question the integrity of it. He said, NBA reffing has wreaked the foul play for decades. Obviously, the Tim Donaghy thing is going to stick with the league. There's always, we're in that sort of, and I think that's a little bit because, and I'm not saying it's bad, but a little bit because of wagering, that when people lose their wager, they want to say everything's rigged. There's so many, Twitter accounts now that everyone's like, everything's rigged. Everything's rigged. I don't think it is. It's an easy excuse to make when you lose. And I think more and more you hear people believe that. And because of that, everyone looks at officiating with a side eye. And that's
Armen, that's because I've never made a bad bet. I just have bad players that I bet on.
I agree. They lost it for you. I agree, Billy. You didn't lose it. They lost it.
My process was great, so somebody had to rob us of that situation.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's rigged, is my point.
No, very much doesn't.
Of course, I had a buddy in college that always would say that when we played Madden. I didn't lose it. The game lost it. I hit the buttons correctly. The game just didn't perform.
My guys just didn't try hard enough for me.
The game missed the kick. Okay. I was like, okay, well, I don't believe that. So that's the other part of this that you're always going to hear, but I don't see it either. I think it's a loser's lament most of the time. Billy's right. There are sometimes, yes, bad individually ref games, some bad calls. I guess some frustrating moments when you are getting a certain amount of foul calls and then you don't get them on the road. It always happens. Home and road, that's just part of the game.
You buying or selling that OKC's current run as being, I want to say, not overlooked, underregarded?
Oh, totally. 1,000%.
They're 8-0 right now in the playoffs. And I mean, whoever comes out of the East, the Knicks, like they're going to crush, I think.
They're going to roll them. And
the question is not will they lose a series, it's will they lose a game.
Yeah, and Drew, like barring a massive injury to now I don't necessarily know who, I can't see them getting beat 4 times in 7 games. Like
even the Spurs are good.
And they gave them fits throughout the entire regular season. I think maybe OKC beat them once, but I think it was 4-1 in favor of San Antonio. I just don't see it. Like they got this kid AJ Mitchell, who again, we start watching about the draft and lining up who are the Bucks going to take at the 10th pick. Can you actually get a difference maker? That guy was like the 48th pick in the draft 2 years ago.
Look at him,
and he looks like he could run his own team. And they just have it. I can't remember who said it, but so I don't want to necessarily give credit. But it almost looks like an assembly line where there's just like stars in waiting. So whoever they end up shipping off, they'll be able to replace very quickly, not with maybe a new draft pick, but just somebody that's getting 17 minutes on their team. And this guy could average 20 in the playoffs if necessary.
Did the Thunder 2 years ago, did they lose the Western Conference Finals?
20,
OKC, did they
so
pay? Because I'm wondering, you got to pay an apprenticeship to win it. That's like part of my sports theory is that you got to kind of, it's hard to just like all of a sudden you're a champion. You kind of got to take some lumps. And Jordan losing to the Pistons 3 times, right? Like
so they lost in the semifinals 2 years ago to the Mavericks when the Mavs went and beat the Timberwolves and lost to Boston in 5. Then it was
the Luka run.
Yeah, the Luka run. Then I think it was OKC the back-to-back years. So they've been getting close, but not necessarily knocking like right there on the door.
I just see something that OKC's been existed as a franchise for 18 years. They had the Harden, Westbrook, Durant, the Dawn, right? Yeah. And now they've got like, the guys that they got now, SGA, Holmgren, and those guys. But this is their 6th appearance in the Western Conference Finals in 18 seasons.
Wow. Yeah, because they went to 2 or 3 conference finals with that group.
Yeah.
And this
is their 6th. That's pretty impressive. In 18 seasons in the city, they've been to the Western Conference Finals 6 times.
Pretty solid stuff. It also helps when it really helps when you get the franchise and you get 2 future MVPs already.
I was going to say they had multiple runs of future Hall of Famers, which did help. Although I remember thinking when they lost that series that with Durant and Harden and West, it was to, I think they were up 3. Were they up 3?
They were up 3-1.
3-1, and they lost to the Warriors. Thank you, Billy. I was like, that's it. I mean, they're never going to have another shot at this. OKC is too small of a market. Of course, I'm thinking about the Bucks lens. They'll never get back. They'll never have this run of players again. They won't ever have a chance to do it. They might move from Oklahoma City. I remember thinking all that. No, I guess I was wrong. It didn't take them much longer to retool, get one nice trade, and get the right draft picks, and boom, there they are now ready to maybe, get the most ordinary dynasty going of all time. The most ordinary in terms of everyone's like, yeah, whatever, another championship. Most ordinary since the Spurs, I guess, if you call that a dynasty, which many do.
Yeah, I mean, you win 5 in 15 years, that's it. Like, they also are not only, Drew, threatening to be the first team to repeat titles since 17-18 in a sport that always has repeat champions.
Right.
Right. Like throughout history, there's always teams that win 2 in 3 years or back-to-backs, 3 and 5. And you haven't seen it in almost a decade. They're also the first team since LeBron's Lakers that won in the bubble to go back to even the conference finals the next year. So like it's pretty wild and unheard of their ability to come back after last year. And it's just kind of also scary when you fully look at all the assets that they still have available. They could unload a ton of picks and go get a star if they wanted to. But they got a bunch of stars, I said, in waiting where they could actually move off of their second biggest contract. Because has Jalen Williams played a game in the playoffs yet? I don't think J-Dub has played a game in the playoffs yet. And last year, there were moments where I thought he was the finals MVP more than Shea. So they're one of the most impressive units assembled. And they also came at the perfect time when all the rules were changing. All the economics of the sport were evolving, Drew. And a lot of those teams that took lottery tickets and say, hey, yeah, we'll give you 6 first-round picks. Yeah. Those will never be worth anything. Oh, wait. Our guys got old, and all of a sudden they got lottery picks on lottery picks. And they're stumbling themselves in the top 15 picks. And whenever they draft one, it seems like it hits. Almost like the Brewers trading for a left-hander. Seems like they get him into their building, and it might work for Kyle Harrison.
That's right. You can hit us up with your buy or sell props, 877-794-1973. This one's just, most people will say, who? You buying or selling that Clavicular's 15-minute clock is going to about 14:30 right now. The influencer Clavicular. I'm just saying, because I thought,
is that the guy that I was watching have the sit-down interview with the young lady and the guy? Oh,
and the
wow.
Fan. That's the guy who hits his face with a hammer, the looks maxing dude,
Sure.
That's the dude. Oh my goodness. Yeah,
I thought I honestly don't know who this is. Yeah.
You're gonna have to look him up.
He's a streamer?
everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a streamer. It's like a Twitch, YouTube guy.
I'm glad you could pronounce his name because I was looking at it trying to figure out what I was trying to say. Okay, thank you. Yep.
You gotta. Yeah, I guess he stepped into the void because Jake Paul and Logan Paul are old now, and they're like
one's boxing and one's wrestling. Yeah,
I think they're old, so I guess he's the next wave. I thought maybe we would not have a wave, but no, here comes the next one.
Not worth it, kids. He's 20 and he's doing all this plastic surgery. Is that the
stupid
idea?
Stuff? That's his idea. That's his whole claim to fame.
There's some weird stuff that gets famous online
weird.
now,
and then because of that, it gets weirder, and kids want to get famous, so they get weirder. It's just different, man. It's just different.
Although doing it for the Vine used to be a thing. I mean, like you were trying to to do something outlandish to get you on Vine, big time. Yeah. Now, I mean, your ability to get really famous for just being an absolute jerk and filming it.
Well, who's that kid, Jack, right?
A man that just goes around and just like pesters folks and then instantly gets the reaction that you want.
Yeah.
But eventually that stuff fades, I feel like, and people aren't going to like you. And then you're kind of left with what's next? I don't know.
You would think, but then here's my dumb sitting there watching the video.
I know, you're right, Billy.
Like, I mean, that's the problem.
Yes.
I am the problem.
We've met the enemy, and it is us. Yes.
You mentioned this cat. I watched a video for like 48 seconds. 48 seconds of my life I'm never getting back.
Never getting it back.
But you know what? He got the click, and he's glad about it.
I get these reels. I'm watching reels, and I hate myself every night. And Laura goes, why are you watching them? I'm like, these people are so stupid. Why am I watching this stuff?
But I'm watching it.
And so I'm the problem. Here's a buy or sell. LeBron farewell tour, yes or no? He says he doesn't know what's happening with his future. Some people like the Last Dance kind of Derek Jeter farewell tour, but where ahead of time.
I advocate.
Get his flowers.
I'm a fan of the farewell tour. Put a cap on it. I'm playing one more year. This is it.
Get your flowers in every city,
and then you're done.
Kobe.
And then whatever happens. But I like that because it's closure. Right now, guys can say that they're retiring and then come back and change their mind. But I like the closure. I thought, man, Favre should have done it.
Yeah,
Roger should do it. Like
you are able to let it be known that this is going to be it, and I think you allow yourself to enjoy everything a little bit more, knowing that there's the finality of it, and this is going to be the end. I would totally advocate for it, but Armen, here's the thing, guys. I don't think he's only playing one more year. Like, I think he's going to go somewhere and play 2 to 3 more years if wherever that place ends up
back
being.
In the land?
Unless they go and win it, right? Like, maybe if they're able to move Harden and he takes over the Harden spot in Cleveland. I also think if New York gets drummed in the finals, like we think that they would if they run into OKC, I think that's a wildly exciting
OKC's
proposition.
Not a great matchup for the Knicks right now.
No. I don't know that they're a good matchup for anybody.
That's just
right.
It.
Like, I mean,
we're under regarding how great they are right now.
Is some of it true because the game started at 10:48 at night, or is that just because we have to be in bed by 9?
That's part of it.
Yes, the answer is
market.
Yes,
it's just they're just under the radar. It's the small market. It's like who.
And we joked about it last week.
Start with a weird name, kind of like Milwaukee and Giannis.
Fair, yeah. And like once it was clear that they weren't going to win 70 games. It was like everyone's like, all right, we're just going to put them into the drawer. We'll open that box come April.
You're right.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait, they won 68 games and just dominated everybody by 15 a night.
Are you buying or selling that the fact that we've just got the announcement for the first Monday night football game of the year and it's Chiefs-Broncos? Buying or selling that the NFL is anticipating Patrick Mahomes will be ready to play?
Yeah, and I think they're buying what my man Nick Wright has been saying for a while. He said Patrick Mahomes is going to be dancing at Travis Kelce's wedding and he's going to be starting for the Chiefs week 1. They're not putting them on that marquee and putting the Chiefs there if they don't anticipate Pat is ready to go. He's also the same guy that dislocated his kneecap and then tried to play 7 days later because the Packers were playing the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football.
Yep.
Right? Like, so I've been thinking Mahomes would be closer to playing than not to start. I think this definitely signals he plays. But Drew, tell me in that post, where's that game being played? That's the first schedule announcement that I think we've ever gotten of a game, and no home.
Site.
There's no site.
It just says Broncos Chiefs.
Broncos Chiefs. Not an at, not a versus. So they will be playing, but where? Tune in at 6 to find out. I don't know. Maybe that's a big league tease that they're setting up for Thursday night to see actually who's getting the home opener on Monday Night Football.
Billy, who's our current electric superhero of the day today? Who do you like?
I was going to say there's a lot of opportunities. Donovan Mitchell scoring 39 points in the fourth quarter definitely deserves one. However, our current electric superhero of the day is our friend Scott Dolphin from FM 106.1, walking in here. And more importantly, as current electric is charging you up with EV chargers, Scott Dolphin, I'm walking into the back because Billy, wait 2 minutes. I got a fresh pot of coffee brewing right for you. That's a superhero amongst us on a Tuesday.
Love it.
When you desperately need one. And Current Electric, they do everything electric and EV chargers. They're all the rage right now in the car buying sphere. Superheroes at Current Electric will handle everything from the initial site assessments to the final installation. And for the month of May, Current Electric is offering a free EV charger. A free EV charger for the month of May when you purchase installation. If you've thought about getting it, now's the time. Go to callcurrent.com for more information. That's callcurrent.com.
Well played. Well played. Let's find out together if Bill Schroeder's awake.
It's my favorite game.
I think he's going to join us tomorrow, guys. He just let me know.
Okay.
Let's go. Okay.
Tomorrow his work's better for him, if that works for us.
All right.
Let's go. We'll have a game to discuss then. I like that.
That's true. I'd rather come off a game than just a day off with Rock. Although I'm interested in his exploits on fishing and on the golf course.
I was going to say, I did kind of want to hear more of we have more fun almost when we don't talk about ball, but we'll talk about
we'll
both
have
of it
ball
tomorrow.
to talk about. Yes, absolutely. And tomorrow we'll have, like you said, Billy, we will have the Bark at the Park to talk about. We'll have Brandon Sproat looking for his first win, and we'll be previewing a Miz start against the Padres.
I was going to say that's a pretty sweet docket.
All right, Bill Schroeder tomorrow. Then we'll talk to you. We need your participation on Buy or Sell Tuesday, 877-794-1973. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Continuing the Tuesday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin, Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you on this Tuesday in the good land. We're having some fun today. Buying and selling, 877-794-1973 gets you in.
Big propositions on the buy or sell. Fellas, tonight, the Spurs and Timberwolves, I'm fired up for this game. 7 o'clock, most importantly, fired up for that one. But on this fun, beautiful buy or sell Tuesday, you buying that Wemby actually didn't know the rules and didn't know what a flagrant 2 meant? I don't know, Drew, that I can fully believe any great player doesn't think that there's a camera on them at all times. But that's a beautiful sell job from Wemby, because I can't fathom my man didn't know the rules.
I'm completely selling that he didn't know.
He looks up at his buddy on Sunday night of, what does that mean when they call him for a flagrant 2? It means that you're gone, bud. It means that you're out of here.
Out of here.
And I can't fathom buying the fact that he didn't know the rules. But maybe they do. I mean, we had the Donovan McNabb moment where he didn't know that the game could end in a tie. I just got to sell that great players don't know the rules to the game that they're playing.
I think it's possible, just because I think we assume these guys will be following the league like we are following the leagues all the time. Like rule changes in the offseason, but they might not be. And maybe he got confused in the moment. Flagrant. Do I need 2 flagrant 2s? I think it's possible. I think it's unlikely, but it is possible that he didn't know the rules. I think he was more concerned about trying to show that it didn't faze him. Like he was like, all right, cool. I'm cool.
Oh,
all
sure.
Right, guys,
he was doing a cool guy look. That's for sure.
But because he knows he got his cage rattled a bit. Now, I saw Draymond come out on his podcast. Don't trust me. I'm not listening to his podcast. But I saw the clip on ESPN. I'm not listening. But he said, so if it was Naz Reid, he'd be suspended. So who's going to come out and do it to Wemby tonight? Like basically asking if the Timberwolves are going to go do it again to him. Wemby, hey, it took him out of the game. It got his cage rattled. Is that the way forward? The Pistons would do this in the early days to Jordan to try and get his cage rattled. Then Rodman, did this a little bit with Karl Malone to try and get him frustrated, or the Sonics with things like Frank Perkowski. Try and get their guy rattled, their best guy out of the game. Are they going to try this, this tactic again tonight? I'm very fascinated to see it, guys.
It will be interesting.
They better, right? Like, right. I mean, I would say you better.
This
like
is your
that.
Chance.
That's how
have to.
You totally do. Just like teams did to a different sport, I know. But after Quay Walker had the situation in Buffalo, you knew that he was going to have a target on his back for the next 5 or 6 weeks of his rookie year, Drew. And then and behold, right at the end of the year against the Lions, happens again. Like, because you are going to continue to see if you can get him to walk that line. And Wemby's so good and can be so dominant that I feel like it is almost malpractice not to, right?
Yeah.
And the Minnesota Timberwolves are professional agitators. I mean, Jaden McDaniels walked into that Nuggets series and was like, hey, you guys think this Jokic guy is the best player in the world? You know what he does? Sucks at defense. Rest of the guys on the team stink at defense. We're taking it right at them every single game. And they did it. And they had Jokic in almost 3 fights. So I would be stunned if they don't get into his kitchen again here tonight. And since you're on the road, the building's going to be against you. I'd be floored if the Timberwolves don't. And I'm kind of expecting this to be a classic. Could you guys remember teams did it to Giannis, I would say, after the situation with Mike Dunleavy?
That was it.
Yeah.
That was like we can get in his head. That was the idea. Right?
We can see if we can get him to blow his top. And you then have to then prove you're able to rise above that, which is a very, very difficult thing to do.
Very difficult. The mental toughness, that's the next level of trying to take that next step as a superstar in the playoffs. It's going to be on Wemby tonight to not let himself get rattled, get caught up in all that, try and take the hits, whatever. Hopefully you get the calls. Hopefully not to get rattled by that, because now you're sitting there, okay, it's 2-2. It's a best-of-3 series, and it's on you now to try and bring your team to the conference finals. This is where the rubber meets the road. So this has been a very interesting series. I find it fascinating that the Timberwolves, Billy, are still a plus, 330, I think I saw.
Yeah, big time.
In the series market. I don't know if it should be that big. I think they're giving the Spurs some problems. Yes, they're not going to get a favorite, but it's pretty interesting to see what's going to happen now, and it all starts tonight. So thankfully we got this series, because there hasn't been that many good
right.
ones.
If it wasn't for Detroit, Cleveland, and Minnesota, San Antonio, we'd be in serious problems. You buying or selling if they lose the series, that this is what cost them the series?
Ooh.
The Scott Williams effect from 0-1, like the whole that one moment, or the Draymond situation.
The Draymond thing in 16.
Yeah.
Like, I don't necessarily know I could go there, Drew, because They still got to lose 2 games.
Yeah.
But it sure as heck is a turning point. I mean, like if we're looking
would
for
be an inflection point. Yeah, you'd go back. Oh, okay, that's where it flipped.
Yeah, that would be our Toyota turning point of the season for San Antonio if that was the situation that would occur later on there. I think that one's fascinating because you have a guy that the NBA is going to be happy either way. Wemby, everybody's darling in basketball. Ant, seemingly the next great American-born superstar, and you need one that everybody can latch onto. I think the NBA is going to be happy regardless, whoever comes out of it. But a knockout, drag-out fight, and both teams being able to be at their best is a good one.
Like that.
Timberwolves are also an undervalued unit for the last 3 years.
Absolutely.
Back-to-back trips to the conference finals and kind of on the doorstep of maybe doing it again.
Which I think is because in some of those series, they haven't taken them to the limit. Like, I think there was a couple of 5-game ones. I get that, but looks like they're trying to make their way now or break through. And they have Ant. And when you have Ant, it's always an X factor, always a chance.
Buying or selling that Giannis's next team will be Golden State.
I would have bought it if Golden State would have moved up in the lottery. I don't know, Drew, that they have nearly enough to make an enticing package. And I don't know, despite the hot report that Giannis is going to put his finger on the scale and tip it in their favor. I think there's more intriguing options in the East. So I believe he has played his last game for the Bucks, but I don't believe he'll play for Golden State.
I think I saw Jay Williams say the East is more likely, or he's hearing that. And also, I got to sell it because I didn't see it in my dream last night. Had a nightmare. Giannis announced his decision where he was going to go, and it was Charlotte. And it was the final 3 were Lakers, Minnesota, Charlotte. So I'm going to sell it.
What made you think of Charlotte?
No idea. It was like a Con Knipple. I remember thinking to myself,
because Drew transferred planes there?
Don't know. Maybe that's the reason.
Maybe that's it.
I have no idea what it is. But it was my dream last night. I called it a nightmare, but it was my dream.
I had some Carolina barbecue at the Charlotte airport on Saturday night.
Pretty good.
That's a good one. Yes.
Airport, yeah.
Airport barbecue.
Decent,
all right.
Yeah,
nice,
pulled
nice.
pork platter.
Yeah.
Never realized the difference in barbecue of all the different regions.
Oh, yeah.
You start talking to people in Texas, their barbecue is far superior
Oh,
than
yeah,
everybody
far
else's.
superior.
Well,
I know
yeah.
Kansas City barbecue is pretty damn good.
Memphis, right? People go crazy about their barbecue.
Buy or sell Giannis's next team will be the Boston Celtics.
Selling.
Would you be interested in the Brown package that got bantered about? You were enjoying the sun and the waterfalls in Costa Rica when we were doing topics on Bill Simmons reporting of Jaylen Brown and Giannis could be somewhat of a flip.
Seems like a lot of wish casting by a Celtics nerd.
That's fair.
But Jaylen Brown, like, if you paired him with Giannis, okay, but not, and he's at the age where doesn't fit with a team that's rebuilding.
Well, and that was where Armen and I fell on it of like, would you want to get an established star player back or wish for a couple of picks and maybe a Jalen Johnson or something to establish
a bunch of picks and a Brandon Pajemski type, a couple of those guys.
A couple of role players and opportunities.
Kuminga? They should have traded Kuminga.
He was
Kuminga was everybody wanting Kuminga.
Everybody.
All right, I got to do this for buy or sell. I got to do this. I couldn't help myself when I saw this. I know Billy was hot on this a little bit. Lane Kiffin in this article now. He's in the Vanity Fair piece and stuff. But my favorite part, Lane Kiffin, diversity cited as LSU recruitment edge versus Ole Miss. He says he has a recruitment edge of diversity. The quote was, "Hey, they said, hey, coach, we really like you, but my grandparents aren't letting me move to Oxford, Mississippi. That doesn't come up when you say Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Parents are sitting here this weekend saying the campus's diversity feels so great. Feels like there's no segregation. We want that for our kid because that's the real world. Is diversity the reason he's going to win at LSU? Is that why he left Ole Miss? I thought that was interesting.
So I would struggle to completely dismiss it, right? Like, yeah. I mean, you are talking about a university and a team that within the last decade was called the Rebels. And I mean, like, I do struggle to think that there's not still that connotation.
I don't think they integrated their fraternities till the late 80s.
Yeah. So like, I would struggle to say that it's like completely out of bounds. You also go to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, you're going to see everybody. Like, you're going to see anything and everything. And Louisiana is definitely a melting pot. I also think LSU is just a brand that people want to go to and more attractive.
Yep, sure.
But I don't know that situation happened. Lane Kiffin is a beautiful embellisher. He is tremendous at being able to take a fish story and all of a sudden he caught the largest muskie anybody has ever recorded. But I can't say that I would be stunned that would be a situation in Oxford, Mississippi.
Yeah. Did you hear there were rumblings, and I think Ryan Clark might have been involved in this. I just caught just the sideways glance at it, but there are rumblings about, because of the way stuff that's happening with drawing the maps and redistricting and stuff like that. There's folks are saying that it should be a movement that African American players should boycott SEC schools or not play in states that are where the maps are redrawn.
Oh, wow.
To disenfranchise black voters.
Oh, wow. I did not see that.
It's like, yeah. It keeps sports out of politics for us, to an extent. It's impossible to totally separate. But man, and then it's like, how do you match the money? Like, it's a great idea in theory. How are guys going to walk away from millions of dollars that they're making now?
That's it. The money is too good.
Ohio
everywhere.
State and Michigan only have so much cash.
Yeah, in so many spots that you're only going to be able to go to so many Big Ten schools.
Penn State.
I struggle to think there's so many different, hidden agendas behind everything. However, when you're talking about college sports right now, they're in such flux with whatever the SCORE Act that ends up getting voted on. It sounds like next week for like the third time it's hit the docket.
Yeah.
Something is going to transpire and something's going to change. But like, it is a point where we're going to get closer to even Steven on players getting what they probably are valued at, and these schools having to pay the piper and figure out, man, we've had this really, really good free ride where we had great talent and great workers and we were getting all the cash. So like there's a balancing of books that is really hitting universities hard as they're finding out, the best advertising really is sports. And when our football team is playing in the national championship, wow, our out-of-state applicants is just skyrocketed through. There's going to be a redistribution as to where these schools are doing it, and more university funds, I think, are going to be pumped into athletics for that exact reason.
And it gets to the whole thing. It's stark, but you can say that wide receiver that we're paying $1.5 million to is worth more to our bottom line than our national championship women's crew team.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reality.
Well, and what about also, Drew, and this is the unique one, and the things that have been getting bantered about on Capitol Hill with it is like, how many different universities really need a $9 million football coach? Don't you need $8 million worth of players and $1 million going to Lane Kiffin?
Yeah. And the other thing about, and again, is Title IX is going to get thorny, but the whole thing about basketball and football players are going to get paid. You want to play tennis in college? You might have to pay.
Yeah, you might have to pay.
Pay to play.
100%. That's exactly it.
Swimming will be pay to play, whereas these other sports, the non-revenue sports are going to be, you're going to have to pay to play. Or we're going to have to do bake sales and stuff.
100%. Let's go get some entertainment books.
Yeah.
Can we sell some more discount cards? We got any places ready to throw 15% off of stuff?
Splinter off the two main sports and let the rest.
And that will be how it gets eaten. Yep, you're exactly right, Drew. It's going to be a feast or famine, and there's going to be a lot more teams that are out there opening up their own checkbook.
I'm watching ABC News this morning. Joe Buck is on talking about the NFL schedule.
Wow, look at you, Joe Buck. Okay. Now maybe he's telling us where this Broncos-Chiefs game is actually going to get played.
I don't think he knows.
ESPN botched that.
Right.
Yeah, they don't. I don't know if they know yet. That's wild. All right. When we come back, closing ceremony time for the Tuesday edition of the Huddle. And we'll have a little wake and bake story for you, brought to us by Happy Place Hemp. HappyPlaceHemp.com, 25% off with the code Huddle and free shipping.
It's that easy.
We'll have that story for you, and we'll close up shop next. The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Let's get it. Tuesday edition. The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, coming to a close already. Just getting a good lather going on this Tuesday. It's low tide. We're coming off a Brewers off day. Had some action in the NFL. The schedule.
Yeah, you know what?
Action in the NFL.
Drew, that must just be how our psychopaths outside the health club waking up at 5 a.m. feel like. Just getting a good sweat going. All of a sudden, they're an hour in and they got to go shower up and get ready for work. We're just getting rolling. This is when you're really starting to hit it.
That's right.
Man, why does the rest of this stuff get in the way?
Time for a Wake and Bake story brought to us by HappyPlaceHemp.com. Rob and Chris, two great guys working out of Muskego, making the best CBD products in the state, in the nation, I posit. And they'll ship them anywhere for free if you order at HappyPlaceHemp.com. Use the code HUDDLE, 25% off your order every time and free shipping. They had that great deal on 420.
So good.
I loaded up. Might have to go back to the well again and use the 25% discount instead of the 42% off. But 25% discount and free shipping at happyplacehemp.com, or just stop into the store off of College Ave in Muskego, and the boys will give you the discount if you just drop the name.
Yeah, and you'll have a lot more fun because you'll chop it up with them and have
talk some sports.
And also, like, if you have any questions about what the certain effects will be of different products, what different levels are, they can answer any and every single question because guess what? They make it. Nobody knows anything more about the products than those guys because they make it all locally and in their place. So that's the place to go. Now, as much as I'd like to give it to these Fazoli's advertisement that keeps popping up on a pizza baked spaghetti, because that seems like something that you wake and bake with.
Getting hungry, right? I mean, that's something you dream about when you're coming up with some stuff like
pizza the pasta way.
Let's just come up with that.
What if we just put spaghetti
on pizza
and made pizza?
Yeah, it's like my buddy that did put spaghetti in tacos.
Like when my buddy was like, "Wait, why would we wait 25 minutes to make brownies in the oven?" When they can take 2 minutes in the waffle iron.
Just an idea.
Right? Like just see how it plays out. And then the ice cream's even easier to layer on top. But guys, I just can't get over the fact that we've now reached the point. This is like when you really would ask, what are you high? What are we doing in the NFL where we're releasing games without locations? We're legit asking these teams and causing folks who in Denver probably are waking and baking to say, wait, so we're playing the Chiefs. Are we at home? They're putting out the graphic, and it looks like Mile High Stadium, but I don't know if I'm going to be a mile high at Mile High or if I'm going to be sitting on my couch watching the game in Kansas City. That is one of the craziest levels of NFL superiority complex that I never thought we'd even get to, where they believe they got us so far by the you-know-what. They're like, hey, we're going to still give you another 2-day cliffhanger.
That's it.
We'll let you know who you're playing. No, we will not let you know if it's at home or away.
And that's what this whole week is all about.
That is wild.
The NFL superiority complex to say we can grab you guys by the cojones all week and make you just wait around and beg and pray and plead for any sort of information about this league because you care about it that much. And guess what? Most of the time it's true.
Yeah,
we do. And then people want to know, and people will eat that up and will wonder and speculate to see, well, what's going to happen for the schedule. But that's what it is. I mean, that the NFL knows how to do it, and they've got us in. And yeah, we're going to give you this, but we're not going to give you the location or the network or who's going to play. It's just kind of funny how that works. But hey, that's what this time of year is. It's exciting, and we'll get it all on Thursday. But in the meantime, the next 48 hours, we're going to be getting these little drips and drabs. So
absolutely.
The other wake and bake would be you mentioned what was my streamer's name? Clavicular.
Yeah.
He did an online a dating show with this young lady named Elise Rosenblum. She is an OF model, as the kids call it these days. And it was a speed dating event to find her a husband. And the top spender revealed that he had spent over $100,000.
Yeah, which is
on
being
her videos
inflated on
so like 2 or 3 million.
3 million. Yeah, he didn't spend 3 million. You look at the dude; he ain't got 3 million.
No, he doesn't have 3 million. But still, if he's got $100,000 still that he's firing, like what are we doing in this world?
What are we doing in this world?
Think about all the hungry kids we could feed in this world.
So much good you can
or
do.
how much you could buy at happyplacehemp.com with $100,000.
Yeah,
no question.
Or segments you could buy on this show. I mean, let's be honest.
Hit that damn bell again. Talking text line.
Studio sponsorship.
Presenting sponsor.
What?
Armen's one thing of the day.
What?
There's a lot of opportunities.
We'll come up with stuff.
Bill Schroeder's hits. He'll be with us tomorrow.
Thank you. Who's going to be with us tomorrow at 7:25? All of which can be yours by simply emailing at Armen Sarian or email armensarian at iheartmedia.com
Yes,
for all your information.
I will make sure to get it to the right people.
We will,
and it won't go in my
we will
spam
forward
blocker.
it around. But yeah, you're right, Billy. The NFL, after dipping their toe in the water all those years of the Packers are going to play the Chiefs in an exhibition game in Kansas City between August 15th and the 18th.
Oh my God, the worst.
Like, what?
Yeah, they're going to play that next weekend. Sweet. That's 4 days of variance. Give me one.
Tell us when. They get away with that with the preseason because it cracks me up that they can't lock it down before they announce it.
What are you, college football?
Yeah. Jeez, they're just trying to grab anything they can from the NCAA. Wait, so you guys don't even tell, you guys don't pick the time of the games until that week? Can we do that? Can we figure out how to do this?
Wow.
We're not far from it. How
about Vikings putting Adrian Peterson in the Ring of Honor? He was a little surprised.
Oh, wow.
Well, I mean, what he did in the field.
On the field,
They told him yesterday, John Randall broke the news to him. They invited him to talk to rookies at rookie camp and stuff.
Sure.
And then they told him, hey, you're going on the Ring of Honor.
I would say the one of the most impressive athletes I ever watched was Adrian Peterson when he was doing his thing.
He's eligible for the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 27.
I gotta think he's first ballot, right?
You would think, but that little thing with the
little things, yeah.
Abusing his son with a switch.
There's a couple of those guys, but then there's like, all right, there's Adrian Peterson that's coming up. There's Antonio Brown, who might be like the best wide receiver of the generation. Like there's some interesting ones for Armensarian to gatekeep, and I'm really excited to see how he does it.
Fantastic. All right, we're going to close up shop for today. Tomorrow on the program, Bill Schroeder. Tomorrow's Hot Take Hump Day. It's halftime of the week for us.
That's going to be a hard one to
These
beat.
days are
And it's a
flying
Miz
by.
Day.
And it's a Miz Day. We'll have Brewers Padres to talk about, Bark at the Park, a Miz Day. It's going to be a blast. We hope to see you at 5 a.m. Thanks for hanging out with us today. You've been in the Huddle.
Peace.